All right, if y'all in here, make sure y'all are double tapping that screen. What's up, YouTube? What's good, everybody? We're gonna start letting guests in here shortly. What's up, Madisy? What's up, Christian TikToker? What's up, everyone? All right, let's go ahead and start taking some guests in, man. Only request up if you guys are Muslims. I don't know if this person's connecting.
Hi.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, what's going on?
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're a little delayed, I think. You might have to like change your internet. You were a little bit delayed, unfortunately. So
Hello.
yeah, what's going on?
Hello. I am not Christian because I don't think God can be human.
Why do you think that God cannot take on flesh?
Because then he will not be all powerful.
So you don't think God can take on flesh and still keep his divine nature?
No, never.
Why? What's the logical contradiction in God having two natures?
Because if you think about it, why is the name God called God? God is God because God is God, he's all powerful, all knowing, everything.
He still
Why?
is when he takes on flesh. He's still all powerful and all knowing when he takes on flesh.
No, because then you break the logical princess from the world. Because then I ask you,
I'm breaking a logical princess?
yeah, because then God take his flesh, and then I ask you, but did God sleep? And
Which
then you
which
say,
logical
"No."
princess am I breaking? Is it like Snow White? Which one?
Because look, can God sleep? You say no. But then you say God did sleep because he was in flesh. You know what was going to
I'm
be
trying to
the
figure out which
discussion,
logical princess we breaking. That's what I'm really trying to figure out.
Because you say God can be human, but God cannot sleep. But when God was human, he did sleep.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. This just not going. It's just not gonna turn out well, bro. If he talking about logical princesses, I might have to move on. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Do not hate me for that. It is not my fault. If y'all in the live, make sure y'all liking the live, guys. Hello.
The reason why is because why would he be a freaking human?
He becomes a human to perfect our nature.
Yeah, but he can send people down, and that's what the prophets are for.
So the prophets perfect our nature?
They send the word of God to the humans because God is not going to come down into the humans by himself.
But do the prophets perfect our nature?
Yeah, they perfect our nature by showing us the true religion.
Oh, so when we become, or you become a Muslim, you become perfect?
You don't become perfect, but you start to realize, oh, this is how I should be acting.
So how does your nature become perfected?
You can't be perfect if you're a human.
Oh, okay. So if you
That's
can
why
never
God
be
is a
perfect,
human,
so you
because
believe
he's
in
not
heaven will be,
perfect.
so you believe in heaven will be sinning?
No.
So we're perfect in heaven?
Yeah.
Are we not human anymore in heaven?
Your soul is in heaven, not your body.
Are we human in heaven?
You're not technically human because
So
you don't have your body.
what are we then if we're not human?
You're your souls.
But what are we? What nature are we?
Your soul. Your soul goes there, not your body.
Is your soul not a property of your nature?
Yeah. What?
Okay, so it's a property of the human nature. So how do you still have a property of the human nature, but you're not human in heaven?
What does it have to do with anything I said in the beginning, dude?
Bro, because
Do
we're
you think
talking
humans are
about whether or
perfect?
not the human nature can be
Do you think
perfected.
humans are perfect?
No, I didn't say that. I'm
Do you think
asking you, what are we in heaven if we're not human?
We're not human. We're our souls, and our souls aren't inherently human.
They're not inherent. So your soul right now is not human. You got a non-human soul.
My
right
body
now.
is human. My soul is me.
So your soul right now is not human. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for coming up, bro. Thanks for coming up, bro. All right, the level of guests we're getting so far is just not. It's not really there. Maybe we'll get some good ones soon, guys. I really truly hope so. Hello?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
What we're talking about?
The title on the screen.
Why you're a Christian? Okay, all right. Let's find out if we're worshiping the right God, right? Who has the right God we worship? So the God you worship is the God is all-knowing, all-powerful.
Yes.
Okay, and Jesus is your God,
Yes.
and He is 100% man, 100% God.
Yeah, he's fully God, fully man.
Sorry, fully God, fully man, not 100%. Okay. And is Jesus is the Father?
No, Jesus is not the Father.
Jesus is not the Father. Is Jesus Holy Spirit?
No.
His Father is Holy Spirit.
No.
Okay, that's fine. No problem. So the God is all-knowing, all-powerful.
Yes.
So according to your book, why did Jesus receive revelation from God, the knowledge he didn't have before?
In what verse?
Revelation 1:1.
Who says that's Jesus receiving revelation from the Father? Where do you get that from?
Are you familiar with the verse?
Yes, it does not say that Jesus received revelation from the Father. Let's read it, guys.
It doesn't say Father, it says God, in fact. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't say Father, it says God.
Okay. So you will see here, guys, right? First of all, this verse will never say anything about Jesus receiving revelation. It says that it is the revelation of Jesus. Okay, so let's read it. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave to show his servants, things which must shortly take place, and he sent and signified it by his angel to his servant John. So who was the one receiving the revelation?
Jesus, and given by who
No,
again?
it says John.
So is this revelation is the revelation of Jesus, which he received from his God? Isn't it say that he received from God gave him this
It says
revelation?
it's received. The revelation itself is received by God.
Which God gave him the revelation?
There's not
right?
multiple gods. There's one God. So
Well, there's a couple of questions here, obviously, from this verse. Either you guys have to have a multiple gods, or your God is not all-knowing because he
or
had
God
to.
is multiple persons.
Well, that's another comment. So all I'm asking, like your definition, the God is all-knowing. So I'm trying to figure this out.
Yes, even the disciples called him all-knowing. We've known he's all-knowing.
No, hold on. I'm not talking about disciple. So I'm speaking like about this verse. It doesn't change the fact that Jesus had to receive revelation from his God, which he didn't have. Right?
Where
So
does
like
it say that he's the one receiving the revelation?
the revelation of Jesus, what do you mean? Like,
And where does it say he doesn't have it? Where are you getting all these presuppositions from? Where are you getting that he did not have this revelation, did not know this revelation prior? Where in the verse?
Let's say Moses received revelation from his God, right? Like he did. According to you, he's a prophet, according to your book.
Yeah.
So we are going to call him the revelation of Moses, right? And you sure with that?
I'm gonna call what the revelation of Moses?
The revelation Moses received, can we call that revelation of Moses? Because
I guess it's gonna be revelation of God, but sure.
Okay, so because that was bestowed upon Moses, and then this revelation was given to Jesus from his who? From his God. So
yeah,
if
I'm
Jesus
asking where are you getting it from that he didn't have the prior knowledge of this though?
I don't have to, because if Jesus did have to receive revelation from his God, is automatically by default makes him not all-knowing. I don't have to.
So if someone gives you knowledge of something, right? If someone tells you something, does that mean you didn't already know it necessarily?
Exactly. I didn't have that knowledge that has to be given by.
So if someone goes and tells you, they gives you the knowledge,
Nick,
they say Islam is true. You didn't already know that before?
You're Nick, right? Okay, Nick. So let's say
I ask you a question. I say if someone comes up to you and asks you, or they tell you, they give you the knowledge, just say Islam is true. They give you that knowledge. Does that mean you didn't already have that knowledge before necessarily?
I didn't have that knowledge. Yes, it's right. So
if I bring up a Muslim right now that tells you Islam is true, you're gonna say I didn't know that before you just told me.
Where are you going with this? It doesn't help you what you're saying.
I'm showing you how it doesn't make any sense. So if I just want to make sure you're consistent. If I bring up I just want to make sure you're consistent. If I bring up a Muslim right now that tells you, they give you the revelation, Islam is true, are you gonna admit I did not know Islam was true before you just told me?
I already know that. I don't have to do that.
So you can receive knowledge or receive revelation. Someone can give you a revelation that you already know.
if a Muslim brings a new knowledge to me, that would be a new knowledge for me. That would be something new for me, like Jesus is getting revelation from his God. So let's say, for example,
we have to show how
look,
it's new knowledge. That's what we have to
let-
show.
I'll tell you it's a fallacy. I'll tell you how. So let's say you are non-Muslim, right? You're a Christian. If I bring you the Quran, then this is gonna be a perfect example of what you're talking about. I'm as a Muslim, your example that you're giving me, it's just like a very poor example you bring
It's
up.
literally not, because you're presupposing that Jesus didn't already
I'm
know
not.
this.
I'm reading your book and I'm just reading at the face value. It says
Okay,
Jesus.
at
received
at
the
face
revelation
value,
from
is it a necessary condition if someone gives you revelation about something? Is it a necessary condition that you did not know that thing prior?
that specific revelation. I did not have the knowledge.
Okay, so if someone comes up here and gives you the revelation that Islam is true, that necessarily means that you did not have the knowledge of it before.
Let's say I'm a non-Muslim, and if someone bring the Quran,
No, let's not say you're
yes,
not Muslim. Let's say you are a Muslim and they come up and give you that revelation that Islam is true.
that's example doesn't help. It doesn't make sense what you're bringing this example.
Bro,
How-
okay,
how-
I'll show you how it's an A to A example. You said it is
not.
I'll show you how it is. You said
It's a
it is a
very poor example.
necessary condition that if someone gives you revelation about something that you did not know it prior. So I'm saying someone gives you revelation about something that Islam is true. And you said it's necessary that you did not know that prior then.
But as a Muslim, I already know that. It's not nothing new to me. As
So
the
so
Quran.
it's possible to receive revelation that you already knew.
No, it's not. It's not a new to me. But that the revelation I'm talking about, you
Bro,
making this face, it doesn't help, Nick.
You just said it is a necessary condition if you receive revelation.
Why are you getting upset? Why are you getting agitated?
Bro, because
Just
this is
answer my
crazy.
question.
You
It's not.
just said it is
Just
a
because you said-
necessary condition. So it's not
just
necessary
because-
to. So it's
just
not
because-
necessary then if you receive knowledge, then right?
Just
To not know
because
it.
you can't answer the question, that doesn't mean it's a,
This is
like
crazy.
again. I'm gonna. You can that overreaction. It doesn't help, Nick. The
Okay,
overreaction-
let's do premise by premise. Okay, premise
no.
one. Tell me which premise you
Again.
disagree with, since you don't get it. Premise one: if you receive knowledge, you did not have the knowledge prior. Premise two: someone gives you knowledge about Islam being true, therefore you couldn't have known the knowledge prior. Conclusion: your conclusion would be you did not know the knowledge prior. Which premise do you disagree with?
So what you're saying, I already have that knowledge. It's not something new for me.
Which premise do you disagree with? Yo, thank you for the star, Matt. What the heck? That's crazy. Which premise do you disagree with that I just gave?
What I disagree with is just the analogy you're giving me. It doesn't match what I'm asking.
No, give me the
for.
premise you disagree with. I gave you a syllogism.
Because I already have that knowledge. Someone is not new to me.
Which premise do you disagree with?
disagree? Because it's the same knowledge. It's not something new
What
for me.
premise do you disagree with?
See now, Nick, what you're doing is like
He
you
can't
just
answer a basic question. He can't answer a basic question. We're gonna move on. He can't answer a basic question. I gave him a basic syllogism. Premise one, and this is according to his view, by the way. Premise one: if you receive revelation, then you did not know it prior. Premise two: he received revelation. Islam is true. Conclusion: he did not know it prior. I gave him a basic logical syllogism, modus ponens, by the way. That's the inference rule. Thank you for the heart me peace. Thank you for the heart me Byzantine. The basic syllogism. You see how they can't answer basic logic? It's kind of crazy. It's crazy how that works. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, what's going on?
What's going on, man? So, I had a simple question for you.
All right.
So, I was born Christian. I never really read the Bible, but I read Islam like a year ago. And I just started reading because I seen debates of people saying, like, Islam is false. So, I started reading the Bible recently, and I seen that, that Jesus was tempted by Satan. So, if he is God, how can he be tempted by Satan?
Yeah, it's outward tempt. There's a difference between outward temptation and inward temptation. So, for example, I can tempt you and say, "Yo, there's this boy over here. You might think is cute." That's me tempting you. Do you feel tempted
Boy.
by that?
I'm a dude, right?
Exactly. Do you feel tempted by that?
No.
Okay, so I can tempt you without you feeling tempted. In the same way, Satan can tempt Christ without him feeling tempted inwardly.
Well, why did the angels come down to comfort him, if that's the case?
In what verse? I'd love to see this. I'd love to see this. And by the way, I can't hear you in off the screen, so just when you find it, make sure you come back to the screen. If y'all in the TikTok, make sure y'all double tapping that screen. If you guys are on YouTube, make sure you guys are liking the live.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, did you find the verse?
Yes, it's Matthew 4:11.
All right. All right, let's go. Matthew 4:11. All right. Yeah. By the way, this verse proves that Jesus is God, so this ain't gonna be good for you. Then the devil leaves, and behold, the angels came and were ministering to him. And that word ministering, do you know what that means in the Greek by chance?
No, I don't.
It literally means to serve or to attend to. It's diakonal in the Greek. Why the frick would the angels come down and serve him?
Well, why did they also come down to attend to him?
Because they're serving him, because he's God. This is horrible for your point. Like it's very, you just prove that Jesus is God without me even needing to try.
You said he came down to attend to him, though.
Yes, that word in the Greek literally means to attend or to serve. Do angels serve you?
No,
Why not?
I'm not a god.
Okay, so why do they serve Jesus?
Well, they attended to Jesus.
That word literally means to serve in the Greek. So why do they serve him?
Because he was, what is it? I'm trying to find the word. I'm trying to use the right word.
God? Yeah, that's the
No,
word.
not God. For sure, not God.
Oh, so angels can serve someone who's not God?
No.
Oh, okay. So then if they're serving him, he must be God.
Well, I don't believe he's God, so no.
So why do they serve him if they can only serve God?
That point, I don't know.
Oh, you should go look into it. And then you can
All right, that point, all right. I got one more point for you, too, before I go.
Okay.
Okay, so I was also reading the resurrection. And when Jesus came from the tomb, there was also saints resurrected there with him.
Yeah.
All right, and that's only found, I think it's only in one book, but no other gospel really talks about it. So what's with that point too?
There's multiple things that are only in one specific gospel, because if everything was all in each of the gospels, then there would be no reason to have different gospels. The reason for different gospels to have different viewpoints and to have different things. So it wouldn't make sense for everything that happened to be in every single gospel.
Wouldn't it be like to line it up though? So if I say this happened, I say this happened. But if I say this happened, and this one thing is completely different from these two other things.
It's not different. It's just something that wasn't mentioned. That'd be an argument from silence.
I mean, that's all I wanted to know.
All right. Well, you take care, man.
You too.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next guest.
Hello.
What's up?
Yeah, I'm attacking that Trinity point, right? So you believe Jesus is the Most High, right? Like the Most High God.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What does the Most High God mean?
It means that he is the creator of all things.
That's the only definition for it?
That's one definition.
All right, let me get the definition for it. And I'm going to see if you agree. So it says the Most High God typically refers to a being who is supreme, ultimate, and above all, unrivaled in power, authority, and existence. You agree with that?
Yeah, that's fine by me.
So if you're the Most High God, can you have a God over you?
Not according to your divine nature. You would have to have him according to like your human nature or something.
But if you're the Most High God, you can't have a God over you. That's a contradictory statement within the title.
How's that a contradictory statement if it's according to human nature?
What do you mean according to the human nature?
If the God is over him in accordance to the human nature, then how is that a contradictory statement?
Because it doesn't, with the definition, it doesn't talk about human nature. And even with, I can show you before he came in the flesh, he had a God, so that wouldn't help you.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
So what did you want to see?
What you just said, you could show me. Go ahead.
That he had a God before he came in the flesh?
Yeah, sure. And JC, thank you for the $5 super chat on YouTube. 11 p.m. here, done my decorating for the day. More to do, cooking tea. Thanks for the cooking lesson. Absolutely. Thank you for the super chat, JC.
So you familiar with Psalm 45, which Hebrews
Yes,
actually
Psalms
quotes?
40, yes, Psalms 45:6 is going to be referring to him taking on flesh. I can
How is
actually
it-
even give you church fathers if you'd like that show this. St. John Chrysostom as well.
I wouldn't go to church fathers, especially a lot of them perverting scripture over the time. So I wouldn't go to them.
Who pervert? Which church father perverted scripture?
No, I'm just saying, like, if you go like 3rd, 4th century church fathers that like perverted scriptures, they
Like who?
contradict- like,
Which
they
church father
contradict-
perverted scripture?
I'm just saying the church fathers, they contradict each other, because I can go to 1st century church fathers that didn't believe in the Trinity, and then centuries later you got people who believe in the Trinity. or that switch the
Which church father
What are you talking
contradicted
about?
each other? I'm trying to figure which ones. Can you show me? Give me that.
I'm
evidence.
just saying, because you had different beliefs during that time, and people
No, we
started
didn't.
teaching a Trinity during the once the Council of Nicaea came. That's when they started teaching a Trinity.
What
and
was
all
the
that.
Council of Nicaea about?
The divinity of Christ.
It was about Arianism.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes,
what does
that's
that
my
have to do
point.
with the Trinity?
That's my point. Some of the 1st century church fathers, the early ones, they believed in Arianism. They didn't believe in the Trinity. So for you to go to your church fathers in the 3rd or 4th century that are contradicting the 1st century ones, it's not going to work.
What 1st century church father did not believe in the Trinity?
Bro, I can literally go to the earliest church father.
Okay.
What's his name? Clement of Rome. He did not believe in the Trinity.
Please show me Clement of Rome did not believe in the Trinity. Go ahead. Please. I would love to see this.
Oh my God. Okay, I got you.
Okay.
Who would I have to show that he didn't believe in the Trinity?
Just show me anything that would go against our doctrine of the Trinity.
So, all right, let me see. Is the Father God by himself? Yes or no?
Yeah, of course. That's literally that would be referring to John 17:3. Mark.
No. What I mean is, you believe there's 2 other gods with the Father. That
We
make
don't
up
believe there's 2 other gods. What the frick are you talking
Yes,
about?
you.
We
Well,
believe there's
so-
2 other gods.
Yes.
If you show me a single church father saying we believe in more than one God,
All right,
I
hold on, let me
will
change
go
it,
to
let me
Islam
change it.
right now.
Let me change it. So how about this? Is without the Son is the Father God?
What do you mean without the Son? There is no without the Son.
So without the Son and the Holy Spirit, you don't have the one true God, right?
There's no such thing as without the Son. Yeah. So if you
What
could
do you
show
mean?
me, if you could show me where he said
That's
without
the
the Son,
point.
the Father is God, I would love to see that.
I can show you. That's what I'm saying. I can show you
Okay.
verbatim where Clement says the Father is the Most High God by himself. No partners. There's no one with him. He's God alone by himself.
Oh,
What
so you're
are you
gonna show
talking
me where
about?
he says that there's
Yeah, I
no
can
he's
show you
no
that
other person.
verbatim, which was-
Okay,
yeah.
please go ahead. Let's go to it. What's
Yeah, no,
citation?
I'm gonna bury the Trinity now.
Okay, what's the citation?
Which website do you use for the?
It doesn't matter. Just give me the citation. I'll go to it.
Yeah, it's in First Clement. Let me go.
First Clement what?
Chapter. Wait, hold on. Just give me like 20 seconds.
Oh wait, guys. Oh, wait. Oh wait.
First Clement chapter 59.
First Clement 59.
Yeah, verse 4. I'm on early
Alright.
Christian writings.
First Clement 59. Verse what? 4?
Yep.
There is no First Clement. You mean? Yeah, I have to scroll down, bro. I think it's talking about something else. Okay, let's go to First Clement 59.
Which website are you on?
I'll go on the same one as you.
I'm on early Christian writings.
All right, I'll go on that one too.
First Clement chapter 59, verse 4.
All right. We beseech the Lord and Master to help our successors. Save those among those who are in tribulation. Have mercy on the lowly. Lift up the fallen, show thyself unto the needy. Heal the ungodly, convert the wanderers of thy people. Feed the hungry, release the prisoners, raise up the weak. Comfort the faint-hearted. Let all the Gentiles know thou art the God alone, and Jesus Christ is thy Son, and we are thy people.
Stop. Who's the God alone right there?
We agree that he's God alone. That's literally what Isaiah 44:24 says, bro.
Then hold on. Who's the God alone?
You said
right
this
there,
was going to say that he's the God without Jesus.
What does alone mean, dude?
Alone means it's one being, meaning there's no other being, there's no other existence.
It said, hold on. It says God alone and Jesus Christ, thy Son.
Yeah, if you're alone, that means there's no other being with you, right?
Exactly.
Okay, is Jesus a different being?
Yes, it's in the verse. It's literally in the verse.
What's the difference between being and person?
Bro, it says you are God alone and Jesus Christ is your Son.
What's the difference? I don't think you know what being means. What's the difference between being and person?
The God alone Son is Jesus Christ.
No, answer the question. What's the difference between being and person?
He's done.
Stop looking it up and answer the question. What's the difference between being and person? Oh, he needs to go look it up. He don't know. He's talking about being, but he don't know what the frick being means. He has to go look it up. What happened? Thought you was cooking. I thought you was cooking, bro. What happened? Come back to the screen. Why'd you leave? Why'd you leave, man? Why'd you leave? Come on. Come back. Come back, man. Come back. That's crazy. He's gone, man. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. Next. Thank you for $2 super chat, Marcos. He moved the goalpost to a different field. What's new? What's new? That's crazy how that works, huh? That's crazy how that works. Why drop him?
Yo.
Because he stopped responding. He went off the screen and stopped responding. What do you mean? Hello?
Yo, how you doing, Nick? You good?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, nothing much chilling. Yeah, so I'm not a Christian, sorry, because I believe there's contradictions in the Bible,
Okay, like what?
like the failed rooster prophecy, when Jesus says that James, the rooster will not crow until James denies Jesus, or is
Talking
it
about
Peter?
Peter?
Denies Jesus? Yeah, sorry, Peter, sorry.
You think
Is it
that's a
Peter or
failed
James?
prophecy? You
Yeah,
don't
it's
you
a
don't
failed
think the rooster
prophecy.
crowed 3 times?
No, 1 second, bro. Let me finish. Why are you getting so excited? So, the prophecy in Luke, John, and Matthew, the prophecy is this, right? So in Luke 22:30 it says, "The rooster will not crow until James has denied Jesus 3 times," right? And what happens in all 3 of the Gospels? The rooster doesn't crow until the 3 denials, but in Mark, the rooster crows before the 3rd denial.
Which verse in Mark? Let's go to it.
I think it's 22:30.
All right, Mark 22:30. For in resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are like angels of God in heaven. I'll give you another chance. That's probably not it.
Oh, wait 1 second, bro.
Teddy's, thank you for the 5 gifted Fearless Truth memberships. You the man.
Wait, sorry, it's Mark 14:30. So it says, "Truly I tell you, is tonight before the rooster crows." No, sorry, that's the actual failed prophecy. I swear it was Luke 22 something. Oh, you can just type 1 second. I'll find it for you 1 sec. It's the verse where it says, "The rooster will not crow until
Sorry, I'll wait.
James denies." Yeah. Go 1 second. Yeah, sorry, it's Luke 22:61. It says, "I tell you, Peter, the rooster will not crow today until you have denied 3 times that you know me."
Okay, and where did the rooster crow before that?
The rooster never crowed before that. That's what I'm saying. So the rooster is not going to crow.
Wait.
Until
Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. So what's the other verse that contradicts that?
Yeah, so it says in Luke 22:34, I tell you, Peter, the rooster will not crow today. So it's not going to crow until you denied me 3 times that you know me, right? That's the prophecy, right? So in Matthew and John and Luke, that prophecy gets fulfilled. But in Mark, the rooster crows before the 3rd denial.
Okay, which verse are you referring to in Mark? That's what I've been asking this whole time.
Oh, in Mark, it's so in Mark is 14:66 to 72.
Mark 14:66.
Yeah.
Okay, Mark 14:66. Now, as Peter was below the courtyard, one of the servant girls of the high priest came. Mark 14:66.
No, 272. It should be in
What?
in the
Bro, what verse do you want me to
Bro, I
read?
just said, look, in
Oh
Mark
my
14, in Mark 14 to 66 to 72, that's what I'm saying. What are you talking about?
Okay, which verse do you want me to read where the rooster crowed?
In 68, right?
Okay,
In 68, after the first denial, right? The rooster crows.
Okay, so let's read Mark 14:68 and accompany with 22:62.
You can just type it on ChatGPT, maybe it'll help you. The answer as well.
Is that what you're using?
No, I'm not. I know this contradiction. I've got many more anyway. This was just a small one to start off with.
Okay. All right. So, but he denied it, saying, I neither know nor understand what you're doing, and went out on the porch, and the rooster crowed.
Yeah, the rooster crowed right after the first denial. But in all of the other gospels, the rooster crows after the 3rd denial. And that's what the prophecy is, that the rooster
So you want me
will
to show
not
you in
crow.
another? You want me to show you in another gospel that it also happened before that one too?
Wait, are you talking about in this specific,
No, I
like
said the other gospels. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, show me where in the other
Okay.
gospels that the crow, that the rooster crows before the 3rd denial.
Okay, fantastic. All right, let's go to. We can probably go to either Matthew or Luke.
No, I've already read them. It's not gonna help you, bro. But anyway, you can't go there.
All right.
In all the 3 of the gospels, the rooster only crows once, whereas in Mark it crows twice.
All right, I'll show you. Don't worry.
Okay, bro. You're about to make something up, bro.
Bro, I sound a little worried already. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm just figuring out whether to go to Matthew or Luke. All right.
Yeah, go on.
All right. Luke could probably be better. All right. So read both. So,
bro, yeah, go on.
Okay, so we'll start out with Matthew. We start out with the prophecy in Matthew where it talks about it. It's going to be in verse 26 where it says, Truly I tell you, this very night before the rooster crows, you would disown me 3 times. Now, this is in 26. So if we go to Matthew 27. Now, if we go to Matthew 27, it's going to be where he denies him.
Yeah, after the 3rd denial. The rooster crows after the 3rd denial in Matthew. What are you talking about?
What verse is it? It's only after that. What verse are you referring to, Matthew?
1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be Matthew 26, 74 to 75. It says, Then he began to call down curses, and he swore to them, I don't know the man. Immediately a rooster crowed. Then Peter remembered the word Jesus spoken, before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times.
So what was the 3 times that he denied them before that?
Yeah, before that, it literally says here, before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times, and that's what he did in Matthew. He disowned him 3 times.
Where's the
rooster
3
crowed.
times? Where's the 3 times at?
What?
Where's the 3 times at?
Bro, it literally says it here.
If you read verse 6, now Peter stood outside the courtyard, and a servant girl came to him, saying, You were also with Jesus of Galilee. But he denied it, saying, I do not know what you are saying. When he had gone out of the gateway, another girl saw him, and those said to him who were there were also fellow servants of Jesus of Nazareth. And he denied it. And then he began to
So that's
curse.
2 denials.
What?
That's 2 denials, right?
Yes. This is going to be
And
by
now
the
the
same.
third one.
This is going to be by the same servants, right?
Yeah, so there'll
Okay.
be 3 denials.
Where
and
do
then
you
the
see the
rooster
third
crows.
denial is the question. Where do you see the third denial?
Yeah, then he began to call down curses and he swore to them, I don't know them, man. That's the 3rd denial.
That's the same one. And then he began to call down curses on who? Who's already talking to, correct?
Bro, are you trying to gaslight me, bro?
And he began to call down curses on who he was talking to, right? Meaning
how
he was
many ti-
already
okay.
speaking to that individual, correct?
Bro, okay, wait 1 second, bro. In Matthew, did James deny
Wait, I'm asking a
knowing
question.
Jesus
I'm
3
asking a
times?
question.
What's your question?
And you said, and he began to call down curses on these individuals. So he was already speaking to these individuals, right?
Okay.
So it wasn't a new denial.
It
Right?
was a new denial, bro, because he
He was
denies
already
him 3
talking to
times.
them.
Yeah, it doesn't mean he was talking, individuals. It's not just one person.
Bro,
He didn't
he's
deny to the
calling
same
down
person.
curses on someone who
Oh,
he
bro, you're just
already denied
waffling,
it
bro.
to.
Like, I'll be honest, bro.
How
Are you
the
going to deal
frick
with the
is this
contradiction, bro?
waffling?
This is waffling, bro, because he clearly denies him 3 times in Matthew.
Bro, if he's calling down
He
curses
literally
on
says before
someone he's
it
already
literally says in
talking
verse
to.
75, bro.
Bro,
Bro, my brother Nick, it
If
literally
he's
says in verse
calling,
75.
bro, oh my gosh, if he's
Bro, stop
calling
panicking,
down
bro.
curses on someone who he's already talking to, what was he already talking to that individual about? It was about the fact that he denied him, right?
It wasn't just one person, though. He denies him
Oh my
3
gosh,
times,
I'm
and that's what the
asking,
prophecy.
bro, oh my gosh, you don't get what I'm asking you in that verse where it says he called down curses on the individual that he was speaking with. What were they speaking about? They were speaking about the denial that already occurred, right?
Bro, look, you can,
Yes or
I
no?
can grant you whatever okay, that's fine, bro.
Oh,
Look,
okay, so it wasn't a
again,
new
you're not
denial. It
listening
was
to
the
what I'm
same
saying.
people he already denied.
Oh my God, bro, you cannot be serious.
You just
bro. Like
admitted
in
it.
Matthew, bro, look, in Luke, my friend, right? There are
Oh.
clear 3 denials. There's 3 denials, then the rooster crows once. In
my God,
Mark, the rooster crows after the 3rd denial. Bro, this isn't rocket science,
Bro,
bro. You're clever.
you just admitted that when he called down the curses on these individuals, it was to the same people that he had already denied. So it's not a new
Nick,
denial. You
Nick,
just
Nick,
admitted
it
that.
literally says, okay, read verse 75 then.
Bro, are you gonna deal with my point?
Are you gonna read verse 75? It answers your question.
So you're not gonna deal with my point.
So you're gonna kick me now, right?
When
Because you can't answer.
what? It sounds
Okay,
like
are you
you
gonna
want
let me
kick.
read verse 75? Are you
I just
gonna let me
asked
read verse
if you're gonna
75?
answer what
Yeah,
I just
I'm gonna
said.
answer it. It's gonna answer you. It's
So
gonna
then answer it.
Okay, so it literally says, Peter said, before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times. So
That doesn't
Peter's
answer my
admitting that
question.
he did. My brother, it literally fulfills the prophecy in Matthew.
That literally
The
does not answer
prophecy
my
in-
question. That literally does not answer my question. I'll ask it one more time. He said, you said where he talks about he cursed the individuals he was speaking to. So he cursed them. So if he cursed them, that means he was already talking to them about the denial. So it's not a new denial. It's still the second denial, correct?
This is the 3rd denial.
You said that was a new. Is that a new denial or the same denial?
This is a new denial. So
when he
disowns him
cursed
3
them,
times.
saying it's a new. So when he cursed them, it's a new denial.
No, when he swore to them, I don't know the man, and that's a denial.
I'm asking when he cursed them, is that a new denial or the same denial?
Cursing them is not a denial.
What was he cursing them for?
When he says, I don't know the man, that's a denial.
What was he cursing them for?
Bro, look, he disowns him 3 times, and he admits that he did.
Never just answer the question. When he denied them, is that a new denial?
The verse 75 literally answers your question. You're just being disgenerous.
You like literally just, I don't know why you can never answer any questions. I don't know why none of y'all can never answer any questions. I'm asking simply, is it a new denial or not?
The question is irrelevant to the prophecy.
Is it
Right,
is it the same denial? I'll ask one more time. Is it the same denial
According
Wait,
to
different
Peter,
one.
it isn't. Yeah,
According to
says
Peter, it
is not.
isn't.
No,
Peter says it's not a new denial.
no.
What the frick
because
does he
it
say
literally
that?
says here, then Peter remembered the word Jesus had spoken, before the rooster crows, you will disown him 3 times.
How does that? How
And then
does
he
that?
went outside.
How does that mean Peter's saying it's not a new denial? What the frick are you talking about?
Yeah, because Peter says you will. He remembered Jesus saying that he will disown him 3 times, and he did it. Right?
Bro,
Then he went outside and wept.
how does that mean that that last one was the same denial or wasn't a new denial? Where? What is that? What?
Bro, look, you're asking me irrelevant question when
This isn't
Peter
irrelevant.
literally
You just don't want to
admits.
answer.
You're disagreeing with Peter, bro. Peter
Bro, oh
literally
my gosh.
agrees that he disowned him 3 times.
Oh my
Bro,
gosh.
none of your acting skills aren't going to help you, bro.
What
This is
acting
you're
skills?
not
All I'm
addressing
doing
the
is asking you a
contradiction.
question that you
Yeah,
can't
you
answer.
clearly are acting. You're clearly acting, bro.
It's
You
a
know
si-
deep
oh
down.
my gosh,
bro.
it's a simple
Yeah.
question. How do you know in the verse whether or not it's speaking about a new denial or the same denial?
Because he
How can
denies
we
him
find that
3
out?
times.
We're
Because he
asking about
uses
this
the word-
denial. How do we know if this denial is a new denial or the same denial?
How many times between in Matthew 26 does Peter deny Jesus? Is it 3 times?
On this denial before the rooster crows, it is the second time.
I'm
This
asking
is
you,
why
does he deny him 3 times? Does he
Bro,
deny him 3
but
times?
not before the rooster crows. The rooster crowed multiple times.
Wait, so the prophecy is wrong then?
No, this is why you can read Luke in conjunction. This is basic. This is why we read Luke.
No, what's the prophecy? Tell me what the prophecy
Oh
is in
my
Luke.
gosh. There is
Tell me what the
prophecy. The
prophecy is.
prophecy is that the rooster crows when he denies him. That
That's
is
not
the
the prophecy.
entire
You
point.
liar. You liar.
I'm
bro.
lying.
Why
Wait,
are
so
you
wait, so
lying?
wait, so the prophecy is not that the rooster crows
That's
when he
not even
denies
the
him.
prophecy.
Wait,
No,
wait,
that's
wait,
not the prophecy.
wait, so the
You're
rooster,
just
so
a
the
liar,
rooster,
bro.
wait.
You
Let's
literally
ask.
read
So
the
the
prophecy
rooster,
before.
so the prophecy is
Nah,
not
you're
that the
just lying.
rooster
Bro,
crows
now I know
upon
you're
denial.
just not honest, bro. You're just not
No, let's
honest.
answer the
That's not
question.
prophecy.
Answer the question.
Yeah,
Answer the
that's
question.
not the prophecy.
So the prophecy is
Listen,
not
this
that
is
the
the prophecy.
rooster will crow when he denies him.
No, this is what the prophecy reads. I tell you, Peter, the rooster will not crow today until you have denied me 3 times
So
that you
it's,
know me.
oh my gosh. So it's when he denies
Oh
him,
my
the rooster will
God.
crow.
Oh my God.
You sitting
You
there
should work
saying
for
that does not
Disney, bro.
actually prove any point. It just,
Yeah, bro.
you
You
just
should work for
you acting
Disney,
like a
bro.
child does not actually prove your point. So can you?
Yeah, because you
So it's
haven't
so when he
you haven't-
denies him, the rooster crows.
You
Correct.
disagree with Peter, bro. Peter
So
says
when he
that
denies him, the rooster crows. Correct.
remembered. Oh, my brother Peter remembers, right, in verse 75 that he denies Jesus 3 times, and you're telling me, oh no, it's the same denial, it's the same denial. I disagree with what Peter said. You're literally disagreeing.
How is that
with what
disagreeing with what Peter said?
Yeah, because Peter
That's
literally
not disagreeing
says
with what
he
Peter said.
remembered. Because Peter literally says, oh, he remembered what Jesus said. Jesus said, you will disown him 3 times, and that's what he did. That's why he went outside and started
that's
crying.
not how is that a contradiction?
Yeah, it's a contradiction. Now, let me tell you in simple terms.
Oh my God.
Because the prophecy is that the rooster was not supposed to crow until the 3rd denial. And that's what happens in Matthew, Luke, and John. But in Mark, you know what happens? The rooster crows before the 3rd denial.
Oh
and bro,
my
you
gosh.
still haven't answered.
Oh my gosh.
You keep waffling around.
How am I waffling?
Of course you're waffling, bro.
In what way am I
Disagreeing with
waffling?
Peter. Yeah, because you're disagreeing with Peter. You're trying to tell me, oh, it's only one denial, right? You're quoting the wrong prophecy in Luke. You didn't even quote it properly afterwards, even though you read it the first time, bro. You're just acting
Wait.
like you're
You
in a
asked
Disney
me what
movie.
you asked me what the prophecy was, not what the quote was. You asked me what the prophecy was. The prophecy is that he will deny him and the rooster will crow. Is that not the prophecy?
No, the prophecy is as follows, right? You're just quoting the
God.
partial bit. The prophecy is, I've read it a million times. I don't know why you're being so dishonest, right? Bro, this is not a good look, bro. Just read the prophecy properly.
We
It literally
read the
says
prophecy.
The rooster, bro,
What
it
is
literally
the
says the rooster will
contradiction?
not crow. Yeah, it says the rooster will not crow. So it's not going to crow until the 3rd denial. That's the prophecy in Luke, right? That's what it reads. And you're telling me in Mark, does it crow before the 3rd denial or after?
In which verse in Mark?
Oh my God. I literally we went through this, bro.
If you're talking, are you talking about Mark in verse 71? Because if you're talking about in verse 71, I'm
talking about Mark 14:68. I'm talking about Mark 14:68.
But he denied it. But he denied it, saying, I neither know nor understand what you're saying, and went out on the porch, and a rooster crowed.
Yeah, so after the 1st denial, the rooster crows.
Where does that say? Where does that say it's the first denial?
Because it literally is the 1st denial. Because
Wait,
then
where
after
does that say that's
there's
the first
2 more
denial?
denials. Oh my God, bro! In Mark, bro, the rooster crows twice. Okay, in John, Luke, and
What's the issue with it? What's the issue with it crowing twice?
yeah, because in the other gospels, right, the prophecy is literally as follows: the rooster, first of all, only crows once, and the prophecy is as it sounds, that the rooster will not crow until the third denial.
So can the rooster not crow twice?
Yeah, because that's not what the prophecy is. The prophecy literally says, what does it mean for
Wait, so
something to
the
not
prophecy
crow
is that
until
the prophecy is that the rooster cannot crow a second time.
not before the third denial, no.
Oh my gosh. Where do you get which one was the third denial?
Because it's in the
Where does it say? Please. I want you to go to Mark. We're in Mark. I love this. Let's go to Mark. I want you to go to Mark and you tell me how you know which one is the first, second, and third denial.
Yeah, okay, fine, no problem. That's fine.
Great.
Let's read it. So
Great.
we're just gonna read, okay?
Oh, wait.
So are you talking about Mark, right?
That's what I said.
Okay, no
I'll go
problem.
back
Let's
to it
read
too.
the three denials. Let's read the three denials in Mark.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So this is the first denial. This is in Mark 14:63. While Peter was below the courtyard, one of the servant girls of the high priest came by. When she saw Peter warming himself, she looked closely at him. You also were with the Nazarene, Jesus said, but he denied it. So that's the first denial, right? And
Yeah,
then what
no,
happened?
wait. No, this is the question. The question is when it talks about in Mark, when it lists them out, okay? When it lists out each denial. The question is if it's in chronological order or not.
Like you're just,
Bro, see, every time I give an answer, you don't want to hear it.
Yeah, because you're just being dishonest.
God.
I'm literally telling you the three denials. Right? Are you gonna listen to the three denials, or are you just gonna keep waffling while I'm reading them?
Bro, we're
showing
you that when you read this, that this is not necessarily in chronological order. That's the entire point.
It doesn't matter because the prophecy
What do you mean it doesn't?
Yeah, because the prophecy is it's not gonna crow until the third denial, right? And in Matthew, there's three denials, but the rooster crows after the first denial, okay? And it crows twice in Matthew, whereas in the other gospels, it only crows once after the third denial. And the prophecy says the rooster will not crow until the third denial, bro. I don't know what you're like.
Bro, the question is about the chronological order of it.
Oh yeah, you know what
And Sig wants to come up, and I won't. We can continue talking one-on-one, but Sig just wanted to come up, but we can continue talking one-on-one. So the question is how we know what's in chronological. Did he leave? Wait, did he leave?
There's no way the war is that strong, bro. This is madness, bro.
Did he leave?
Yo,
am I tripping?
That's crazy, bro. Nah.
Oh, that's crazy work. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy work.
I was gonna come up and just say hello. I was gonna come up and say hello, but
yeah, I told him that too. I said me and you will continue to talk to one-on-one. Sig wants to come up.
Yeah. That's wow.
And if you want as well, you can explain what I already explained too.
What's going on even? Like, is it the three?
Bro, he's saying that there was a contradiction in the rooster crowing.
What? It just what?
Because in my I'm gonna tell you how stupid this is, right? You kicked him, don't act surprised. Wallahi, I didn't kick him. Wallahi. All right. So he says, I'm gonna show you how stupid this was. He says, so because it says that the rooster will not crow, right? The rooster would not crow until the third time. But in Mark, it says he denied it and a rooster crowed. And then it said again, a second time a rooster crowed after he denied it again. Interesting.
Where's the contrast?
I guess the contradiction is that the rooster crowed before the third time.
Okay, I think like people need to put some perspective here. Imagine if I say, okay, you won't hit the lottery until you go to Tesco. No, you won't hit the lottery until you go to 3 stores.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Until you go to 3 stores. Now, if I tell you in 3 different videos, I went to Tesco, Sainsbury's, and Aldi, right? And then in another video, I just say I went to the store and I had the lottery. There is no contradiction in what I said. I just didn't tell you more stuff. Like sometimes we need to stop this like jargonizing. Like, bro, some of the stuff is not as complicated as it is. You realize people just add or take away really important information in order for their stuff to make sense. It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Yeah, you're home
That's
comforters.
it.
You can come up. Since people are saying that I'm the one that kicked you, please.
Here comes the Christian waffle as the Tesco. Apparently, guys can't use analogies now, bro.
I'm trying to figure out like this. This is basic. Like it's in different chronological order, right? It's in different chronological order, right?
It just
he
it
does
just
want to
says
come back
that-
up. Here you go. Here you go.
It's just he found the guy.
Hey, maybe you can explain it to him better than I can.
Yeah,
my mind is just burst, gang. Okay,
Go on, explain it. Sig, explain it. Go on.
Okay, so
Wait, first tell
says
us what the
that-
prophecy is. What's the prophecy in Luke? Can you
I
read the
don't know
prophecy?
why. It's okay, bro. Well, the prophecy in Mark or the prophecy in where else?
Prophecy in Luke. What's the prophecy?
Whoa. You're talking about Mark, right?
Bro, what's the prophecy in Luke?
Okay,
That's what
so
I'm
are we talking about Luke? Are we talking about Luke or Mark? Which one?
Bro, the contradiction I'm
They're not
trying
the
to
same
show
book.
between Luke and Mark. You not understand?
Okay,
So I'm
so
asking you first, what is the prophecy as it reads in Luke? What is the prophecy?
why does that? Okay, why do I have to go to Luke? I'll grant this, by the way. But why do I have to go to Luke?
bro? Just go.
I said I'm gonna go to Luke.
Okay, bro. No
Okay,
problem. You're
3
scared of your
times.
book.
Okay.
I'll read it for you. No problem.
I said
It
3
says-
times. I said 3 times already. Number 1. Number 2. You need to show me why I have to go to Luke instead of Mark. Does Jesus prophesy in Mark as well?
Bro, are they meant to?
I'm asking you.
Bro, what's the prophecy?
Dude, does he prophesy? Does he prophesy in Mark? I already told you the prophecy. You didn't listen. So I'm not gonna have to repeat myself, right? Unless you're not listening.
Okay.
So in Mark, does he prophesy anything? Because you know the passage, right? I'm assuming you've read the Gospel of Mark.
Yeah, in Mark he
beginning
does
to end, right?
prophesy. Yeah, he does.
Okay,
prophesy.
so where does he prophesy in Mark then?
Look, in Mark the prophecy is different to in Luke.
Sorry, what did you say?
In Mark, the same prophecy that I'm quoting is different.
It's different. That's crazy how it's different, and so it's written differently. That's kind of crazy. It's almost like they're two
because
different books,
because you've not even asked me.
Yeah. Okay,
Wait,
what is different
why do
about the Mark prophecy? You've read it from beginning to end, didn't you? You've read it from beginning to end.
Well, you don't have to read the prophecy from beginning to end because first.
Have you read the chapter in general? Have you read the chapter or not?
I've read
Even the chapter.
To do with the. Listen, I've read everything to do.
Okay,
with
it's a very basic yes or no. Like you're not a kid. Have you read the chapter? Yes or no?
In regards to the prophecy, I've read everything.
No, not in regards to the prophecy. Have you read
Bro,
Mark 14, verse 1?
You haven't even read the chapter?
Together, bro. We can read it together.
You haven't read the chapter. You haven't read the chapter. Have you?
Okay, bro.
Just don't. Just admit.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Okay, fine, bro.
there you
no
go.
problem.
Now it's starting to make sense.
No, you've sold everything.
Now
bro.
it makes sense.
You figured out. No, listen. You figured out. I haven't read the chapter, and you know what?
I figured out that you lied. Like,
are you gonna
like, I read
answer, bro?
everything concerning with this, and you were like, you haven't read it.
Are you gonna?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna answer everything concerning what I want to talk about. How about that? I want to answer everything concerning what I want. Exactly. I don't know what it means you said it.
So you're just
waffling
now. Then
I know I am.
gonna,
Okay, so
yeah,
prophecy in Mark. What does
contradiction?
What does it say in Mark? What does it say in Mark? The prophecy. In Mark.
Yeah.
What does it say?
So listen, the prophecy in Mark, right, is different to the prophecy in Luke, and my contention is
what does it say in Mark?
That Luke contradicts Mark because the rooster crows before the denial.
Okay, so what does it say in Mark?
It doesn't
What
matter
is
what
the
it says
prophecy
in
in
Mark.
Mark?
My
Well,
contention.
I think it does matter.
Are you talking about the specific? Are you talking about the
matters,
prophecy?
okay?
Look, the prophecy in Mark is different.
Look. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, if the same event is recorded in 2 different ways, then you need to look at the entirety of the event to see whether it's actually a contradiction or not. You agree?
Yeah.
Like, let's say,
I agree.
okay, so let's say you record a video and I record a video, but we're recording the same event. There's going to be 2 different POVs, right? You agree with that, right?
Bro, is meant to be. Are they not inspired by God? Why would they have contradictions?
Being inspired by God is irrelevant, and you have to prove the contradiction. Number 1. Number 2, you need to show. Hold on. You need to show that they are the same. Hold on. You need to show, right, that the POVs are the same in order for it to be a contradiction. Contradiction is two things that can't be true at the same time in the same sense.
Yeah.
But
And I
Luke
can
and
show it.
Mark are two different authors, so they're different senses.
Yeah.
So look, right?
Because Mark.
Okay, I'm
not
gonna
only-
draw this out for you. Can I draw this out for you?
Bro, are you gonna let me speak, bro? Or are you just gonna keep? Or is it just gonna?
You're
be a
gonna say. Here's the thing. I can actually predict what you're gonna say.
What is it?
Okay, cool. The prophecy in Luke says that after 3 times the rooster will have to crow at that particular point in time. Mark only mentions the fact that the girl only asked him once, that Peter denied him once, and so therefore then that was when the rooster crowed.
That's not what
Because
I'm
of the
saying.
fact that there was only one time where Peter denied Jesus, and thus the rooster crowed one time, it contradicts the fact that he was supposed to do it after 3 times. So there's a contradiction in Luke and Mark. That's your argument.
Yeah, that's not my only argument though. My
So wait.
one
So
second.
I
That is my
predicted the
argument,
thing you
and
were
you
gonna
cancel
say. So then I predicted what you're gonna say.
You
That
didn't.
boy, a prophet.
That's not
Yes,
what
I did. You just said that's what you're gonna
Oh
say.
my god, bro! If you let me speak, then I can explain it to you. Just relax. I don't know why you're so excited, bro. Just relax.
I'm excited because there is
Yeah.
absolutely no
No,
data
you're just-
that you're bringing.
Yeah. Okay.
Fine.
So let me speak, then I'll bring you whatever it is. that you
Jumping
need.
at
One
the-
second. It's not just
Jumping for
Luke,
joy,
right?
that's what I'm doing.
The
Absolutely.
rooster crows. Listen, bro. The rooster crows after the 3rd time, not only in Luke, but also in John, also in
Matthew and
in
John.
all 3 of the
That doesn't
all
matter.
3 gospels, the rooster crows after the 3rd denial. But in Mark, it
That
crows
doesn't
before
matter.
the
That
3rd
doesn't
denial.
matter.
Okay, tell me what.
Okay,
the
great,
prophecy-
beautiful. So beautiful. If it contradicts in Luke and Mark, then it contradicts with Mark and Matthew, Mark and John. If I can recognize and reconcile it with Luke and Mark, then I can reconcile it with Matthew and John, right?
Yeah, you can. You'll have to.
Okay, so
you'll have
then
to be-
it
one
doesn't
second,
matter
bro, one
about
second,
bringing
one
up
second.
these
Just
other
ask me a
texts.
question,
It
then you
wouldn't
interrupt
matter.
me.
If I can
Wait, why do you
reconcile
keep
with one, I
interrupting?
can
Just
reconcile
relax.
with 3. I'm very relaxed. You don't need to tone police though.
Yeah, bro,
We don't
you
need
keep
to do that.
speaking, bro. You just
Like
love
I
your
could
voice.
say that you're being mad and pious by calling me excited, but like, you know.
Yeah, bro,
Okay,
because
bro.
you keep having a monologue.
Okay,
You
so
love your
then
voice,
stop
bro. I
being
understand.
impious. Stop being impious. Just calm down. Stop being impious. Okay, look. So, told me Luke and Matthew. I already predicted the Luke and Matthew, and I already predicted the fact that you were going to go to the other 3 gospel texts. That's irrelevant because you're bringing Luke. I already told you what time structure the Luke prophecy is, so I don't need to repeat that again. I did it twice. What I need to do is ask you what was prophesied by Jesus in Mark. That's what I have to ask you, because there's 2 responses I want to do, but it depends on what you've read. And I'm not going to tell you 2 responses if you haven't read the chapter. So I ask you again, have you read the chapter?
I've only read the.
It's a very
I've
simple yes
read
or no.
about
Have
the
you read the chapter?
I've read the prophecy.
Have you read? Have you
No, I
read
haven't read
the chapter?
of Mark.
Good. So please, when I ask you questions, I'm very, very precise in what I'm asking you.
Oh
It's
my
not
God,
that
bro.
hard, right?
Just
Okay,
answer
so
the
let's
question,
go.
bro. Just-
Let's go to Mark chapter 14, right, where Jesus predicts it. Do you even know where Jesus predicts it in Mark?
Yeah, 14:30. Is
14
where the
verse 30
is where the
is where
prophecy is.
Jesus predicts it, right? Okay, cool. So what does it say here? It
Yeah,
says 3 times as well,
Jesus
right?
answered today, yes, tonight, before the rooster
Yes.
crows twice, you will disown me
You
3
will
times.
disown me 3 times.
Yeah.
Okay, so you will disown me 3 times before the rooster crows twice, right? So where's the first time that the rooster
No,
crows?
no, that's
Yeah,
not
it
what
says
it says.
before.
It says
It literally says before the rooster crows twice.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, go on.
Okay, so then we're reading the same thing. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Alright, so okay, so that being said, right, we now know that the prophecy is contingent upon the guy crowing twice. Okay, now in verse 73, right?
Wait, is this the same
Could you
prophecy in
please-
Luke? Wait 1 second. Is this the same prophecy in Luke?
No,
Why is the prophecies different in Luke and Mark?
because Mark can give more information.
Yeah, it's one
This
just
is
literally
not
giving
us.
more
Read the
detail.
information. You're just reading of
Mine's-
ChatGPT. You're just reading.
I'm
of
not.
ChatGPT.
Do you want me to show you my actual laptop? My
Yeah, show
laptop
me
right
your
now.
actual laptop. Show me.
Okay,
Show me.
cool. And
Yeah,
I want
show
you
me.
to show me yours, right? I want you to show me
Yeah,
yours. That's what
okay.
I want you to
Well,
do.
I've
as
already
well.
given everything there is to
Here,
give.
this is my laptop. As you can see,
Yeah.
clearly there's ChatGPT here with only one tab open. Clearly there is ChatGPT with this one tab that's
Bro,
open
just give me
and no
listen,
other
bro.
tabs open because
is the prof-
ChatGPT
Oh my
definitely
Wait, so turn on
works
your
with
wait. So
only
home,
one
turn
tab
on your
open.
screen now. Wait, home. You said he's
Wait,
gonna turn on
now
your screen.
turn on your screen. Turn on your screen. Turn on your screen. It's all right, man. We got you. Anyways, look, the reason I was going to open this other tab is because I wanted to open up another Bible tab so that I can show you the prophecy in Luke as well. Mark is allowed to give more information. Mark repeats stories sometimes. Luke repeats stories sometimes. This is what happens when you have different POVs. Stuff happens all the time.
POVs can contradict.
No, POVs don't contradict. POVs give different perspective. The same way that if you see an event and I see an event, yeah, I'm saying there's no contradiction in here. You haven't shown why it's contradictory.
So three people see it in a different way, and one person sees it in a completely different way.
Because the three people are not the same as the one person. The same way that you having this like, for example, watch this. I'll demonstrate this right now. You're having this conversation right now. How are you feeling?
Bro, am I inspired
I'm
by
asking
God?
you, how
Am I
are
inspired
you
by
feeling?
God?
How are
Am
you
I
feeling?
inspired by God?
How are you feeling? Last time I checked, how are you feeling? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling decent. So
You're feeling decent. I'm feeling absolutely elated. Absolute joy unceasing. Now, you're not feeling that, but we have the exact same conversation, looking at the exact same data. But both of us are feeling different emotions and recording different things. Now, last time I checked, okay, that's just an analogy to show that. Last time I checked, okay? Last time I checked, and this is just simple. Last time I checked, I didn't know that God completely erases your emotions when he inspires you. I didn't know that happened. Apparently, when you pray Salah, you don't have emotions anymore because, you know, when God is inspiring you to pray, when God's helping you to pray, just emotions just go like,
are you gonna keep waffling, bro? How long? Please just let me know.
You said your point was this. I'll tell you when you can rest between now and the point. You said, right? Oh, and when prophets are inspired by God, you said when prophets are inspired by God, they can't feel these different things. That's what you said, or that they can't account these different things. Why?
What did I say?
You said, I'm going to tell you, right? Your basic point, right? I'm giving you the crux of your argument.
Wait, what did
this person claims that I'm telling you the crux of your argument. This person's inspired by God. This other person's inspired by God, but they both say different things about the same event.
Yeah, they won't contradict each other.
Good. No, okay. You need to show that it's contradicting.
Yeah, it's contradicting. Yeah, I can show you if you let me speak. Yeah, I can show you if you let me speak. Yeah, because in Luke.
So what's the prophecy?
Yeah, so in Luke, the prophecy is the rooster will not crow unless Peter has denied Jesus 3 times. And what happens in Luke? Peter denies him 3 times and the rooster crows once. In Mark, the rooster crows before the 3 rejections, right? So
I'm sorry. That it doesn't say. You said in verse 34, you said the rooster will not crow.
That's what it says. Yeah, I'm reading NIV in Luke.
Does it say the rooster will not? I'm reading the NKJV and I don't think it ever says will not.
We've read this about 20 times.
I'm pretty sure it does. I'm pretty sure, like in Greek, it doesn't even say will not.
Okay, wait,
I can pull it up. I can pull it up. What verse? I can pull it up. What verse? I'll pull it up on screen. What verse?
Look at these guys are about to appeal to the Greeks.
I'll pull it up. What verse? I'll pull it up. What verse?
Oh, you
wait, I'm not. Wait, hold on.
What verse? I'll pull it up.
When did I appeal to this? Wait.
Now you're trying to change now you're trying to change.
I didn't appeal to the Septuagint. When did I appeal to the Septuagint?
You literally just went to the Greek, bro. Trying your best.
Okay, sorry. Is the New Testament? Hold on. Is the New Testament Greek? Wait. Hold on. Okay. Great. Is the New Testament Greek the Septuagint?
Bro, I don't know what it is, bro. Whatever it is, bro. It's not
you said that I'm going.
Yo, that's crazy.
Wait. You don't even know the
mistake, bro. Bro, congratulations.
No. You were the one saying, "I hope you go to the Greek." The same way you go to that.
Are you gonna answer the contradiction, bro? Are you gonna answer the contradiction, or are you just gonna?
Yeah, it's just saying. Look, it never says twice. Number one, so that means that it can do twice. That's not a contradiction. And it also says that the girl just speaks. It doesn't say this is the first time. Does it say Mark?
Wait. Can you give me an exegete of the fact that the rooster will not crow until the 3rd denial?
Where in the Greek does it say will not?
Bro, I have not read the Greek, nor do I care about the Greek.
Because it doesn't say it. Because it doesn't say it. You said you had.
These guys are actually.
You said. Hold on.
Yeah,
hold on. I'm going to help you. I'm going to make your argument stronger. As a matter of fact, I want to go to the Greek, and I know the Greek definitely says, right? I know the Greek definitely says will not. I know it definitely says that. I want to make your argument stronger, okay? It should say will not. Yeah, it says that it will not crow until 3 times. It should say it will not crow until 3 times, right?
Yeah, that's what it says. That's what I'm
But
reading.
you haven't read the Greek. You haven't read the Greek, though. I'm telling you that the Greek
Bro,
says that for your own help. I'm telling you.
Listen, bro, are you gonna answer the contradiction? Because you've been waffling for the
Yes.
past 15 minutes,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. So, okay, to make it simple, right?
Yeah,
In
make it
Mark,
simple,
it
please.
says that, in Mark, it says the rooster has to crow twice, right? And in Luke, it says that the guy has to say stuff 3 times. The easiest way to solve this contradiction is literally by just reading Mark. Because it says here very, very clearly. Yeah. It says here, immediately the rooster crowed a second time. So this means that this was probably the 3rd time that she said it. And if you
Yeah,
go
probably,
back,
yeah.
the rooster had already crowed.
No, you've actually
Like-
solved it. Thank you very much. Okay, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very easy. In verse 72, it literally says that the rooster crows for a second time, which means
He
that
left.
before this, the rooster had already crowed. Why? Okay, Mark 14:72 says, immediately the rooster crowed the second time. This is after the girl says the stuff to him. This means that there was a point in time that the rooster crowed the first time that we're not aware of, which means a whole bank of time has just been skipped by Mark.
Yeah,
because he doesn't care.
it's literally just one
right?
author adding more detail in certain parts than the other. That's literally all it is. I don't know how this is like.
Yeah.
how
As
is
a
that
matter
hard.
of fact, I wanted him to say, the thing I was going to show on my screen is in order to show the contradiction, right? You have prophecy and then result, and then you have prophecy and result. You put these on 2 different sides. You're saying that the prophecy from one other account contradicts the result of a completely different account. That makes absolutely no sense. They're not even in the same respect. They're not
That's
the
crazy.
same sense at all. Yeah. But anyways, man.
Cool,
it's,
man.
It's mad. Both of these guys gave different answers. We did not give different answers. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's crazy. Different answers. We both agreed that there's a
Oh, yeah.
there's a chronological difference. I can go back in the recording even.
Yeah,
and
there's a
show that.
chronological difference. Oh, yeah. Send this VOD to me as well. Like, it's pretty clear that
It's on
they
my
just
YouTube.
skip
It's
a
on my
bunch of
YouTube. So
information.
all of it's on my YouTube.
Oh, wow. Shout out to the stream. Shout out to the YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy literally left. Bear in
Yeah.
mind, he promotes like his home wall company or something like that.
Oh, bro, I don't know.
But,
But all right, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, take care. All right, let's move on. Next guest. That was basic, but it took way too long. Hello?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good. What's going on?
I was gonna ask you a question, but after I saw that was embarrassing for you, man.
What was embarrassing about it?
You guys are liars. I'm sorry.
What did I lie about?
Because the guy just embarrassed you. And
What did he
kept waffling, you and your friend.
So
Man,
wait,
this
so
is-
wait,
I
so it's
can't-
so
I
Mark
can't
couldn't have
a
just added more
conversation
detail?
with you. I can't have a conversation with you. You acted like children, man. You wouldn't even let the guy talk.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought, buddy. That's what I thought. Go sit in the comments like a comment warrior now. That's what I thought. Oh. Okay, that person's not connected. But yeah, for everyone curious that's just joining in, the basic answer to the contradiction is that it's in a different chronological order and that Mark added more detail. Like it's so basic. I don't. Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hi, yes, I have a syllogism that's an argument against the Trinity.
Okay.
Yeah, are you familiar with Leibnizian law?
Leibnizian law, yeah.
Yeah. So Leibnizian law tells us that if X and Y have existential properties, only then are they identical.
I mean, if they have absolutely the same properties.
Yeah, that's my first premise. Would you agree or disagree?
That something needs to be absolutely identical for them to be the same thing? Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Premise 2, the Father is identical to God and so is Son.
What do you mean when you say God? What are you referring to?
I'm referring to the essence.
Oh, no, he's not absolutely identical to the essence, so no.
Okay, so then you would disagree with premise 1 because premise 1 leads to premise 2.
No, it doesn't. What? Premise 1 is that for something to be the same, right, meaning Leibniz's law, right? Then it needs to be absolutely identical. So we don't think that the essence and the person are absolutely identical. We don't think the essence and the person are the same. So no.
Okay, so well, would you say that if two entities share all properties, existential and intentional, they're identical?
If they're absolute in every way, they share the same properties, then they would be identical. Yeah.
Okay, so would you say that the Father equals God and the Son equals God?
But we could say that they're materially identical to the essence, meaning that they have that substance. That's what makes them what they are. But they're not absolutely identical, no.
So if they're not absolutely identical, what does that entail?
It entails there's a distinction.
There's a distinction. So there's a distinction between God and the person.
There's a distinction between the essence and person, yeah. If you're referring to God as essence, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in your theology, you refer to God as essence.
Not only, no. God isn't only a reference to essence in our theology.
Nature, right?
No, it's not only a reference to essence or nature.
Okay, what's the qualification?
God can be referring to person as well.
Right, okay, that's fine. I'm saying that they have the essence of God, right? Or are they the essence, or do they have the essence?
You could say either. You could say they're materially identical to the essence. In that sense, they are the essence, but they have the essence in a more general sense.
Okay, so you have categories here. Okay, so you're saying that that the Father and Son are identical materially.
Yes.
And that their essence they're identical with the essence materially.
And that they're what?
They're identical with the essence materially.
Yeah, and that same question you just asked.
No, I asked if the Father and Son is identical materially.
Oh yeah, I mean that would follow. If they're both materially identical to the essence, they would both be materially identical to each other.
Okay, I'm talking about material identity.
Yeah, that would follow. If they're both materially identical to the essence, and they have the same essence, that would just follow that they have the same. They're materially identical.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
what's the argument?
I would say that. So when I look at the premise, right? So if the Father is, so you said that like materially, the Father's identical to God, and so is the Son, materially, correct?
Yeah, the essence. Yeah.
All right. Do they have the same existential properties?
Do you mean like hypostatic properties? Is that what you would refer to?
Yeah, existential properties
No.
could be qualified as hypostasis.
No, they don't.
Is hypostatic properties essential in every possible world?
Essential to the persons, yeah. For the person to be the person, yeah.
So hypostatic properties are essential
To the person, yeah.
So is it are you bringing the third category here? Now you're saying there's hypostatic properties and there's essential.
Do you not think there's essential properties to be a person?
Well, it depends on the actualization of the
of the
individualization.
Is there essential properties to be a person?
Like essential properties to be a person?
Should be
like
easy. Are there essential properties of the person? Yes or no?
I would say there it could be. There could be.
Okay, so great. So you don't have any argument. You agree with me that there could be essential properties. So okay, so what's the argument?
There could be, but great. What's the qualification of how do you know that begetting is that?
Yeah, because it would be a property of the person of this, or the begetting would be the property of the person of the Father, and so because of that, we know that God has no accidental properties. Therefore, it must be essential.
Okay, so there's two Osias
in the Father and Son.
Yeah, because now you're saying that something's essential.
I know. I don't think essential properties necessarily have to be of the essence. I just said essential properties can be of the person, and you agreed.
Well, there could and could not be.
That's a contradiction, bro. What do you mean there could and could not be?
What do you mean? That's like so. Like, is a beard essential? Like, is a beard essential to be human?
No, it's an accidental property.
Okay, is me being African or something like is that essential for me to be a human being?
For you to be a human, no.
Okay, so
good lord, are you just copying Libiano's argument bar for bar?
Not all
this is horrible.
Not all hypostatic properties are essential.
I didn't say that. For us, of course they're not, because we have accidental properties. God doesn't have accidental properties, so it can't be that way.
Yeah, you just said there was a contradiction.
You said they could and could not be.
Yes, hypostatic properties.
In God, they could not and could not be, because God doesn't have accidental properties.
Okay. I thought you were talking about human beings. I thought you
okay,
talking about
so
human beings.
all hypostatic properties in God are essential to the person. So what's the
argument? Okay, what's the modality of spiration and the modality of begetting?
The modality is going to be subsisting in the essence.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about what's the modality of spirating?
Yeah, gonna be the fact that it subsists in the essence. That's the modality of it. It's an energy of the essence.
Okay, but how does that work out?
What do you mean? How does it work?
How does
You
God
asking me how
spirate?
does spiration work?
Yeah.
How the frick are we supposed to know how spiration works?
What
It's
do
like
you
asking
mean?
how does God create something out of nothing? How the frick are we supposed to know?
I mean, you can't philosophically explain it.
No, can you philosophically explain how God creates something out of nothing?
Why are you turning the question on me?
Because I'm
asking
showing you can't philosophically explain things of God. Like what?
So
can't-
you're appealing
like,
to mystery?
just like how you would appeal to mystery of God creating everything out of nothing. Yes.
No, we can actually philosophically explain.
Oh, you can explain how God can create something out of nothing.
Yeah, I mean, we can
I
explain.
would love to see this. Go ahead.
But
Explain how. Explain
wait,
how to create something out of nothing. Explain.
Wait. So first, I want to get your concession. You would concede to the point that you cannot explain the modality of spirating. Like, how does God spirate?
We
Would you
don't
concede?
know the mode of which the spiration occurs.
Is that a concession?
A concession?
Is that
It's
a
not
concession?
a concession. It's what all the church fathers agree with. Is that we don't know what exactly.
Can you show me?
It
Can you show me
means.
the church father that agrees with you on that?
Oh yeah, this is easy, bro. Oh my gosh.
So you're gonna be like, only God knows, right?
Yes. What? What the frick? All right. What is it? What is it? He says, I know the church father. I know the quote. He says, show me begetting and I'll show you like God creating or something. Let me see. Oh, I typed in a verse. That's why. All right. I don't know what church father was. Which church father would it be? Anybody remember which church father it was that said that?
Do you need help?
To find the exact quote? Yes.
Yeah.
I do. I don't keep
So-
citations in my head.
No
for
problem.
Exact quotes. Is there a problem with that?
No, I have no problem with that. Just asking. You can take your time.
Yeah, it might have been Nazianz. Was it St. Basil? Someone said it might have been St. Basil. It might have been St. Basil. Let me see if it was St. Basil. Okay, that's gonna be a mute. I don't know what he thinks he's doing there. He just asked me to find a specific quote on something very specific, and then oh god, that's bad. He's gonna be real upset when I book 15, chapter 27. All right, let's see. Book 15, chapter 27. All right, let's see. Oh, St. Gregory Missal, not three gods, is it? Is it? Wait, someone said they had the quote. Let me see if he had the quote. Did you have the quote?
Yeah, so just go to Saint Gregory of Nyssa on
I thought it was Bezos for some
on Not
reason.
Three Gods part of the book, and also wait, I'll give you the exact quote.
Yeah, I'm looking for the citation. Book 15, chapter 27.
So giving you like a specific page is gonna be hard because there's multiple editions of the same book. I can
All
pull
right,
up
well, I'll
like
just read Augustine. I'll just read Augustine. One sec. I'll just read Augustine then. We can just read Augustine. I don't know where that quote is, but I know Augustine talks about it too. So Augustine says, but because it is most difficult to distinguish generation from procession in that co-eternal, co-equal, and incorporeal, and ineffably and unchangeable and indivisible Trinity, let it suffice meanwhile to put these who are not able to draw on further what we said in subject in a sermon to be delivered in the ears of the Christian people. And after saying, when we wrote down other things I had taught by the testimonies of the Holy Scripture, that the Holy Spirit proceeds both. I continue, if then the Spirit proceeds both from the Father and the Son, why did the Son say he proceeds from the Father? Why, you think, except as he won't refer to him, that is which of his own, whom also he identified it as. He proceeds from the Father, not proceeds from me, from which the Son had his divine nature, for he is God, and also that he proceeds the Holy Spirit. But the Holy Spirit did not proceed from the Father into the Son, and the Son proceeds to sanctify the creature. So you see how he says that it is most difficult, how Augustine admits it is most difficult to distinguish generation from procession. Why does he say that?
Like, why did you're asking me that? Like, why does he say that?
Yeah, you just
Like, why
said
do you say? Why do you say it's difficult to discern?
He said that it's difficult to
Because
distinguish
I
generation and
think he
procession.
means that. Well, I think he means that because they're both generative properties of the Father, that they generate the Son and Spirit in a way, or they proceed forth from the Father and Son. It's hard to make a distinction there.
So why can't we make a distinction there?
No, he's not saying that you can't. He's just saying it's difficult.
Can you show me anywhere where he makes that distinction?
You just saw the last sentence. You said that.
He's made the distinction between what it means to beget inspired?
No, he said it's difficult, but I'm not. He's not. I don't think he's implying that it's impossible. He's saying it's difficult.
Yeah, I'm saying literally every father would never dare to even say what it means, what the difference would be.
He said it's most difficult.
So they would agree. So they would agree with what I said.
That's difficult. It doesn't mean it's possible. He said it's difficult.
So why does not a single church father talk about the difference?
I mean, I don't know. That's on me. That's on you for you to answer. It's not on me.
Oh, so maybe it's because we don't make claims about what it means, the differences. So like literally like what I just said.
Yeah, but he said it's difficult, so there's a possibility there, right?
It's difficult, meaning that we can't explain something that God himself.
If it's difficult, but does it make it impossible?
For humans, yeah, not for God.
Wait, so difficult, making it for it being difficult makes it impossible?
Something can be difficult for us and impossible for us, but difficulty meaning it's possible for God.
Wait, can you show me where it says it's impossible?
What?
Can you show me where he says, or
no, we're just using a basic exegesis. The fact that no church father would say it, the smartest of theologians would say that this individual, what the difference is between begetting inspiration. So we agree.
So there's
so now that the church fathers agree with me, do you have an argument? So wait. Actually, wait. No, before we go to that, you said that if I showed you this, that you would explain to me.
No, I never said that. I never said that. Don't.
So you didn't say that you could explain.
I said we could probably. I said we could probably explain the modality of how God creates. That's no
go
problem.
Ahead, do it. Go ahead.
But I didn't say I was going to do it.
Why wouldn't you do it?
I didn't say I was gonna do it.
Why wouldn't you do it?
Well, you brought up a quote that says it's difficult. You brought up a quote that said it's difficult.
Wow. You wanted to play that music and act all funny. Come on, why won't you do it?
Nah, man, come on. You didn't even.
What does it mean for God to descend to the lowest heaven every night? Explain that.
What?
Explain what it means for God to descend to the lowest heaven every night.
Why are you jumping, dude?
Nope. Explain it.
What
Is that a concession? You don't know?
No, I never. Bro, this guy's a sophist, bro. Holy crap!
I'm a sophist.
Yes.
Can you explain to me what it means? Because I already conceded. We don't explain what the difference is between
okay,
begetting and procession.
Thank you, guys. Everyone, he just conceded.
Yeah, fantastic, great. Now,
all right,
do you know
my job is done?
So you're running now. So you're running now.
But you conceded. What's the point of debating if you conceded?
Wait, what's the argument? If we don't know what the difference
You said
between,
I conceded.
Wait, how does the difference? We not knowing the difference between begetting and procession? What does that prove?
Well, again, you brought up a church father that said that it was just difficult.
Wait, what does that prove?
Yeah, you don't understand the modality of your own God.
So. Okay, great. So you think that us not knowing everything about God means that we can't understand the modality. Great. Let me go ahead and ask you then. Do you understand what it means, and can you explain what it means for God to descend to the lowest heaven every night?
You already conceded. I don't have any arguments anymore.
So you're scared to actually have a dialogue?
No, you conceded. You just conceded to the argument. So
yeah, and I'm going to show you how I don't believe that proves. Yeah, and I'm going to show you how I don't believe that proves that our God is illogical or false. So can you answer the question now?
If you already conceded, why should I continue?
Because I'm showing you that me saying we don't know the modality of begetting does not mean that our God is illogical.
You know, but you okay.
Wait, do you think us not knowing everything about God makes God illogical? Everything, the modalities about God makes him illogical?
No, but the most basic stuff you should know.
Oh, begetting is the most basic, according to who?
Yeah, I mean it's not basic, but it says difficult. But you can still explain it.
So what's the argument? So what's the argument? Is the argument that if we can't give the modalities of God, that means that he's illogical? What's the argument, please?
No, I didn't say it was illogical.
So what's the argument then?
Yeah, the argument is that you just can't explain God properly.
Yeah, we can't explain God in his entirety. Can you?
Yeah, but begetting.
Yeah, you can.
Is impossible.
You can.
No. That's not what.
I asked you a question. Can you answer? I said, can you explain God in his modality?
No. We. So
okay, so neither of us can. So now, what's the argument?
Yeah. So the argument was that you said that it was impossible. Well, Saint Augustine says that it isn't. It's difficult.
Okay, let's say it's difficult. Now what?
Yeah. So okay, it's difficult. Now, can you explain it?
It's difficult. I can't explain it. Now what?
Oh, that's a concession then.
Okay, so what's the argument?
No, you just conceded. You don't know it.
Yes, I conceded that I don't know how to explain the difference between begetting and procession. Now, what's the argument?
That's it. I mean, you conceded.
So what's the argument? What's that prove? Wait, what does that prove?
My argument is that you don't know.
What does that prove? And I also get my argument to you is that you don't know what it means for Allah to descend. So now what? So what do we prove here?
You just conceded to your point. To my point. That's all I said.
Okay, so great. So you think that I conceded. Okay, so fantastic. So now if I have that same argument back to you and ask you, what does it mean for God to descend? What is that the modality of that? Can you explain that?
You're running from the first point.
No, I just said I agree. We don't know the difference between begetting and spirating.
So you're running from my first syllogism.
No, we're not. We agree.
That wasn't my initial argument.
No, stop running. Stop running because you just said, okay, fine. That's
you said
the
Muslims.
concession.
Why aren't you Christian?
So can you answer the question? What does that mean for Allah to descend to the lowest heaven?
Yeah, we believe he intrinsically changes, so he can descend.
What does it mean for God? What's the modality? What does it mean for God to descend to the lowest heaven?
Yeah, like him moving in space and time. He believed that God is.
Oh, so you believe God is within time, is within space and time?
Time is an abstract descriptor.
Is God within space?
Yeah, God has a shape and he can be in space.
So God's finite. He has a finite shape.
No, he doesn't mean that. It doesn't imply that he's finite.
Okay, so God has a shape. Is that shape finite or infinite?
God can actualize into creation.
Okay, when God has that shape, is it finite or infinite?
Yeah, so we believe that that he's infinite in the sense of his essence, but him taking on a shape, it doesn't mean that God in his essence entirely is coming down.
So when God takes on a shape, right? When God takes on a shape,
because this will actually
when God takes on a shape, is that shape finite or infinite?
Yeah, so just to him manifesting it in a shape, that shape in itself would be finite, but God himself in his essence would be infinite.
Is God's essence outside of space?
Yeah, God's well, space is. Can you define what space means?
Yeah, we're gonna say space is going to be the basically where all things that are created are.
Yeah, so of course God dwells. His essence in itself dwells outside of space. He can
So its
act
essence is not.
temporally.
So its essence is not in space.
His essence is in itself. No, it's not in space.
Oh,
God's essence
wait. So there's a part of him that is in space, but the part that's out.
No, it's just God actualizing one of his attributes.
But wait, how can he act? So a part of him, you
He
said
can-
he
he can
descends in
appear-
space.
he can
Wait.
appear-
You said
he
he
can appear
descends
like
in
in a
space.
vision.
So when he descends in space, he's without his essence.
No, it's not. He has an essence, but the essence is not. It's something that's abstract that we can't explain.
Okay, so some of him is in. Wait, that you can't explain. Wait, what do you mean you can't explain it? Oh,
The
is that a
essence of God is
concession? Chat, is that a
unknowable.
concession? Chat,
What do you?
is that a
you're a
concession? He can't
sophist.
explain it. Oh
You're a
no.
sophist. The essence of God is okay. Can you explain the essence
Oh
of God?
no. Wait, no. You said if we can't explain something, it's all bad. It's
No, I
all
didn't say that.
bad.
I didn't even say that, bro.
Yo, it's all bad. What
I
happened?
didn't even say that.
Oh my W concession. So you don't know what about God's essence? You can't explain God's essence?
Okay, can you explain God's
No,
essence?
no, don't run. Can you explain God's essence?
I didn't run. Okay.
Can you explain
okay,
God's
I can't.
essence?
I can't. Now, can you explain God's essence?
Okay, thank you. So us not being able to explain the modality of God does not mean anything. Thank you. W concession. Thank you for your concession.
That wasn't a concession.
Now,
You can't
great.
explain the
Now
essence
that
of
we
God in
made
any
that point
possible
clear,
world.
go back to your
I'm
syllogism.
asking you about spiration, dude. You said
Yeah,
you
great.
said
Now,
it's
and I was
difficult.
talking about his essence, so we agree. So now you
Yeah,
can go
the
back to your
essence of God is
syllogism
unknowable
now.
in every possible
It's okay.
world.
You conceded. It's okay. Just go back to your syllogism.
That
Go
isn't
ahead.
dude.
Do you want to go back to your syllogism or not?
Yeah, let's go back to my
Go
syllogism.
ahead. Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Premise
So
one. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. We know LP. You know LPT, right?
Yeah, was that what your syllogism was about, or you can move into a different one now because you realize your first one didn't work.
That's what my syllogism is about. Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead. Start with your premise one that you had again.
Yeah. So for all entities X and Y, if X and Y share every possible property, P, then X and Y are identical.
Yep.
Okay. So basically, no two distinct things can be exactly like in all properties, right?
Yep.
Okay. Premise two. I would say that the Father is divine and the Son is divine. Would you say that?
Yep.
So the Father and Son share all divine attributes, right?
Divine making properties, meaning property of the essence. Yeah.
So wait, divine attributes or do you want to
properties of
rephrase
the
that?
essence? Properties of the essence.
Properties of the essence.
Yes.
Okay, so they don't share their individualization properties.
But if you're talking about properties of person, no, they don't share those.
So so you're saying that's essential to be God in order to be God, to have those hypostatic properties?
No, it's essential to have the property of the essence to be God.
Okay, so they aren't essential no longer.
No, they're essential to the person, not to be God.
Is a person God?
Yes, the person is God. It's essential for
So
them
can
to
we
be the
predicate this
person.
to be essential to God?
No, because we're essentially it to be of the person.
Without
Because, for example, to be a
qualification,
father, it's necessary you beget, but it's not necessary to be God that you beget.
So if they're essential to without qualification, if they're essential to the person is God, can we say that they're essential to God?
You're gonna say only if you're referring to God in reference to the person.
No, without qualification.
What a frick would we not call, bro? Like, do you just all you do is use Libiano's trash arguments? This is embarrassing, low key. What do you mean without? Why would we not qualify? Why the frick would we not qualify?
I'm just saying, like in hypothetical.
Wait, why would we not qualify?
In a possible world,
Why would we not qualify?
because we predicate this to a single subject.
Okay, so why would we not qualify that we're predicated into the subject?
Yeah. So you believe in major real distinctions in God?
No.
So that we
What are you
cannot
talking
qualify.
about? What is a major real distinction?
Yeah. For example, you believe that you believe God and His essence is unknowable, but we
What's
know
a
Him by His
major real
energies.
distinction?
Yeah, major real distinction in the sense of God. The argument that I'm trying to say is that you believe that the energies are God in a sense.
What is a major real distinction? I'll ask again.
You want the scholastic definition?
What you don't have to verbatim. What does it mean though? You don't
Yeah,
even know. You using words you don't even know.
Yeah, a genuine significant difference between two things, not just
It's a
conceptual
difference in
superficial
substance.
one.
I'll help you out since you don't know.
No, I did. That's not what
I'll
I'm
help
defining
you.
it
It's a
as.
different in substance. So no,
Not
we don't
always.
believe there's a difference in substance between the Father and
Okay,
Son.
okay, fine, whatever. So do you believe that the energies are God?
Yes.
And you believe the essence is God?
Yes.
So you believe in two gods.
No, because they're materially identical. The energies and essence are materially identical.
So you're saying that the energies are materially identical? Are they absolutely identical?
No,
Are they really distinct from one another?
I would say they're formally distinct,
Can you define how do you define formally distinct?
meaning that there is a distinction within the mind that has a grounding in reality.
Distinction within the mind that's a grounding in reality. So it's
Yeah.
grounded in reality, but it's still is only in the mind.
When did I say it was only in the mind? You don't even know what a
Okay,
formal
it's
distinction
perceived.
is, bro.
Okay. Sorry, I misheard you. It's perceived in the mind, but it's grounded in reality.
It's
correct?
both in the mind and reality.
Okay, both. So in reality, there's God that doesn't act, that's unknowable, and there's God that acts.
When is there a God that doesn't act?
Well,
What?
the essence doesn't act temporally, correct?
The essences don't act in general. No essence acts. Persons act.
essence
That
don't
doesn't
act.
make any
Okay,
sense.
So God doesn't act because
The
God is
essence doesn't act. If what you mean by
Do you define
God is
God
the
as
essence,
essence and
if what you're referring to by God is the essence, then no, the essence does not act. Persons within essence act.
So God doesn't act. Can I say God doesn't act?
If you're referring to the essence, yes.
Don't you define God as essence and nature?
Not only, no, as we said
So
5
there's
times now.
qualification. What's the qualification?
The qualification is the essence. The essence itself does not act.
Okay, so you said that you can't say God doesn't act unless I'm talking about the essence.
Correct.
Okay, so what is the categories?
The categories would be the persons act and the energies of the operations of that act.
So persons, how many energies are there?
They say both that there's technically one energy that acts through the persons, and they have different secondary
No, there's
substantial
three
actions.
energies. There's three energies.
There's 3 energies. What? Show me a single church file that says there are 3 energies. I would love to see this, please.
So wait, is energy a property of person?
No. Show me a single church file. I will concede right now if you show me a church file that says there is 3 energies. I will concede the
Is energy a
entire
property
argument.
of person?
Nope. No energies of nature. You don't even know what you're talking about.
So does Christ
So
have two
show
natures?
me.
Hold on.
So show me a single father.
Do you believe in dio-energism?
Show me.
You believe in 2 energies in Christ,
single
human and
father.
God, right?
Show me a single father. Don't run from this. That says that there are 3 energies. I would if you show me this. If you show me, no. I don't want you to ask. I want you to find that.
Yeah, Jay Dyer says it.
And
Jay Dyer says it.
I didn't know Jay Dyer was a church father. Wait, matter of fact, show me where Jay Dyer says it too, please.
Yeah, he says it to Jake the metaphysician.
Okay, show me.
Okay, actually, you know what? Let's do it.
Okay,
Jake Dyer, Jay the metaphysician. He says it like there's 3 energies. He concedes that there's 3 gods if you count.
Okay, well, wait.
Classical counting method.
That there's 3 energies. Well, wait, we want to know where there says there's 3 energies. Can't wait to see this.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me go on
3
YouTube.
energies. We'll wait, guys.
Okay. Here. Let me turn. You want me to turn my camera on or what?
Just all I need to do is just use.
Okay, you want to hear the audio?
Okay. Yeah, just where he says there's 3 energies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there in the Trinity?
3.
Are they separated by time or space?
No.
So you count the persons by identity and not division, right?
Correct.
Okay, does God have one eternal attribute or energy or more than one?
More than one.
Are his eternal attributes
He said more than one.
separated from each other
I'm
by
waiting
time
for him
and
to say
space?
3.
Okay, so you count the attributes by identity and not division, right?
Correct.
Okay, so if we count gods in the Trinity by the same method of identity, how many gods would we count
Depends on what God picks out.
if we're talking about the persons?
3.
So there would be 3 gods if we counted by identity, and the same method that we count the attributes or eternal energies and the persons, correct?
Right. A little G God, as you know.
Okay, so there would be 3 little g gods. Thank you. How many?
Yeah, he said there's more than one energy.
What the frick did he say 3?
He said there's more than one.
You said he said 3.
Yeah, because
You liar. He didn't say that.
He said there's more than one.
You
energy. He
liar.
even
When did he say
conceded there's
3?
gods. Don't even talk. Your best debater conceded there's 3 gods. Come on.
What? He said if you count by identity.
So you believe that counting by identity will?
Don't run from this. Where did he say 3 energies?
Guys, watch this. You believe counting by identity?
Where did he say 3 energies?
Yeah, he said there's more than one energy.
Where did you said he said 3 though? Did you not?
There's another video probably, but he said there's more than one energy.
Please find me where he says 3 energies, and I can see.
He just said this. Okay, can he concede at least that he said there's more than one energy?
Bro, we don't disagree.
So
you don't know what he means. I just said, according to secondary
energy, right?
actualization, there's more than one.
There's more than one. So there's more
according
than one
to active potential. So there's
Active
one in
potential.
one sense, in the sense of substance, and there's multiple in the sense of secondary actualization. Do you know what
How
that
many?
means?
How many
Do you know
are
what
there?
that means?
So I haven't heard about secondary actualization. No.
It simply means in that when they are actualized, right? When these things have active potency, they can be perceived as multiple.
Okay,
So we
how
don't
many?
disagree. So
How many? Can it be infinite?
next argument,
So can it be an infinite regression?
infinite regression of what?
Oh, you said there's more than one attribute. Like how many are we counting? Where does it stop?
What does what stop? The attributes of God?
No, you said you said there's more than one. You
Yes,
agreed,
more
right?
than one actualization.
So how many are there?
We don't know how many times God has actualized things. What the frick are you talking about? Do you know how many things God has actualized?
No, I'm just asking you.
We don't know how many times God has acted. No.
Okay, so okay, that's fine. So yeah, I mean, the point still stands. I mean, you believe in the energies. Are they really distinct from one another? Each of the energies, like the energies acting,
They really distinct from one? I'd say they're formally distinct.
formally distinct, as in like they're distinct in what their operation. Like for example,
Meaning they're
there's
distinct. They
mercy.
can be distinct. Meaning they can be distinct in their actualization, but not in their substance.
Okay, so their actualization. So they can they can be distinct in actualization, meaning that like he can show mercy and justice. Will just be an actualization of his energies.
Yep.
Do they act temporally?
Yeah, they can.
Can they make you unoriginate?
Can they make me unoriginate? No. What the frick?
You want me to show you a church father that says the energies can make you unoriginate?
Unoriginate, meaning with no beginning.
Yeah, literally the like theosis. You believe that you can become.
Please show me the church father that says it can make us with no beginning. Please go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say unoriginate. That's fine.
So yeah, with no beginning. Go ahead, show me. Yeah.
Okay, so you hold to Saint Gregory of Palamas's view on energies.
Yep.
Okay. Do you participate in the energies?
Nah, just find a quote, bro. Please.
I'm asking you.
Find a
I'm
quote.
looking it up.
Just find a quote, bro. Don't worry about me. Find a quote.
All right, you're gonna do me a second. You're gonna have to give me as much time as you.
Okay.
Had when you were struggling.
Don't worry. I'll do the same thing you did. Don't worry. We might need to play this twice, guys. It's only the 15-minute version. Well, while we wait, if you guys are on YouTube or TikTok, make sure you guys subscribe to the Patreon. Become a member. Y'all get access to Discord, a bunch of PDFs, all of that. Link, if you guys are on YouTube, link is in the chat, man. Become a member to Patreon. Just do it. Why not? TikTok, if you guys are on TikTok, become a member of the Patreon as well. Link is in my bio. The Rawest Dog with a $5 super chat on YouTube. My boy Nick been in that book. He cooking. You know what it is, man. Thank you for the super chat. I feel like there's another super chat I didn't read. Harvest Noel, go ask him to ask Lesbiana. That's great. Thank you for that super chat.
Alrighty.
ALC with the $5 super chat. This Muslim was on a stream yesterday admitting he was just reading a script when he got pressed by definition. Dang. So you got it?
Yeah. So
Great,
let me
where-
give you the citation before I do that. Give me 1 second. Let me grab that exact citation.
Okay, we'll keep reading. It really seems like Muslims are becoming more emasculated for each debate. They lie, insult, and need the right to be right for their pride demands. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Kai Burger. Appreciate that, man.
Okay. So can you go to Saint Basil the Great's letter number 234, and Philip Scaff's editor, the Nicene and Post-Nicene Fathers.
What? Wait, where's Palamas at?
Yeah, they have a quote from him.
Okay, what's the quote of Palamas?
Yeah, the quote is those who attain it.
No, what's the
become thereby-
citation for the quote?
Yeah, so here, let me. So number 3. Okay, citations number 3. Oh, it's actually Saint Gregory of Palamas, the Triads, translated by Nicholas Gendel, page 86.
All right, Saint Palamas Triads. Let's go to the PDF. All right,
page 86.
All right. So the Triads, page 86, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
So you get ready to concede, bro.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Okay. Triads, page 86.
Yep. He says the gift of theosis is n-hypostatic.
Is n-hypostatic. Okay.
Yeah. You know what that is?
I'll frig this one sideways. Hold on. All right. All right, I'm just going to share my screen so everyone can see.
Yeah, it starts off, it says the divine Maximus has not only taught that it...
Yeah, don't worry. I'm going to show my screen. I'm going to show my screen. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm just saying that starts off from there.
Okay, page 86 of Palamas. That source. Window capture. All right.
Do you see what I'm talking about?
Okay, the Triads. St. Palamas. You see where it says 86. Okay. So where at here? We'll start at the top. Okay, we'll make it big. We'll make it big. Okay. Page 86, as you can see, right here.
Hold on, let me make sure.
Hey,
turn off the comments so I can't see the screen.
Okay. Now, please. We're at here.
Are you reading from the translation that I gave you?
I just asked you. I just said, is it the Triad St. Palamas, page 86? I asked you 3 times, and you said, yeah.
Yeah, I said by translated by Nicholas Gendel.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Yeah, translated by Nicholas Gendel.
Okay, we gotta go to a specific translation. Oh, okay. I don't know why we gotta go to a specific translation.
Because the page number probably not be accurate. That's why.
Okay, Nicholas Gendel.
They probably
the
have it
Triads.
numerated differently.
Triads, Nicholas Gendel.
Yep.
PDF.
Watch this, everybody. Just watch this.
All right. Let's find Nicholas Gendel.
I can even give you the website that I
yeah,
Has
sure.
the
What's the website? Sure.
It's called the Taboric Light. If you look up Taboric Light, the energy is uncreated, it literally gives you the exact number and citation of it. It says if you just look up indescribable, supertemporal. Those who attain it become thereby uncreated, unoriginate, indescribable, although in their own nature they derive from nothingness.
I think I found it here.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's pull it up here. At source. All right.
Yeah, just let me know when you get there.
Yeah, we're here. Oops.
Do you see the citation that I'm talking about?
Here. All right, we're out here.
Can you move to the side? You're just kind of. I got to turn off the comments. Give me 1 second.
So
you're on the exact page.
You see it says page 86, right?
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm trying to read it. I'm trying to see where it's at.
I'll start out. You can start out here. Let me know if you need me to scroll.
Can you go 80, like right above? I'm trying to read the finish the quote. It says then unoriginate.
What? You want me to go up?
Yeah, okay. So it says if grace were not unoriginate, how would one become through participation in this? I can't read that. It's blocked.
What can't we mean? Can't read what?
Okay, it says if grace were I don't know if it's cutting off the letters on the side, but it says if grace were not unoriginate, how would one become through participation in this grace unoriginate like Melchizedek, of whom it is said there's no end of days, life or end, or Paul could.
Yeah, what?
But even if we grant that the divine energies are uncreated, he says it is still the case that no one they never become created. Yeah, so do we participate in that in the grace and we become uncreated? So that makes us unoriginate.
Where does it say that we become uncreated?
Yeah, it literally says, I gave you the citation. It says the divine Maximus has not only taught that the gift of theosis is
Wait, where does it say here we become uncreated? I'm on it right now. Where does it say it?
Yeah, let me show you.
You said in this part, right? No, wait, bro, I'm here. I'm literally on it. What do you mean show your screen? I'm here.
Yeah, so I don't know. I gave you the citation.
I'm here.
Said verbatim.
I'm here. Where?
Yeah, so the energies are unoriginate, uncreated. He's saying that you participate in that grace, and that grace isn't created, and it's unoriginate. So it makes it really
grace is uncreated. What the frick does that have to do with
do
what
you participate? Do you participate in the energies?
Yes, we participate in the energies.
Does the energies make you then unoriginate?
That we become uncreated? No, we don't become uncreated, meaning that we no longer had a beginning.
That's literally what Palma says, because like made unto like Melchizedek, who's without beginning without end. That's what Palma says.
Was Melchizedek unoriginate? Was Melchizedek not created?
That's what well he's himself. No, but Palmas is citing that to prove his point. I'm not saying that.
Okay, he's citing that, meaning that he's showing that to show his point, right? So he's showing that to show his point, right? So when he's showing that, he clearly doesn't mean that we become uncreated, right? Because Melchizedek, as an analogy he uses, was not uncreated, right?
Yeah, so he's using his analogy that like Melchizedek was made like unto the Son of God, making like he's a prefigure or some sort, as he's trying to say.
So he's showing. So the analogy he gives isn't even someone's uncreated. So
yeah, so again, I'm giving the quote, and I have the citation. It says the divine Maximus. Do you know Maximus the Confessor?
Yes, I know who Saint Maximus is.
Yeah, he's saying that Maximus has not only taught that the gift of theosis is hypostatic, but also that it is unoriginate, not only uncreated, indescribable, and super temporal. Those who attain it become thereby uncreated.
Agree, the energies are uncreated.
Okay,
where does it say that we become uncreated?
Yeah, so what does it mean for those who attain it become thereby uncreated, unoriginate, and indescribable?
Although in their own nature, and what citation are we quoting now?
That's what the citation I was giving it to you. So can you just here?
Are we
let
on
me
a
do this
different
second.
citation now?
No, this is the same citation.
Okay, so let's pull it up again. You said Saint Maximus said we become uncreated, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's pull it up again. I'll pull up.
You know what? Here. I actually have a PDF that. Okay, Gregory Palamas on the triad, cited by 33, 150, page 115. Give me 1 second.
Here, okay, we're here again. I even made sure that I highlighted the part of Maximus for you as well. Where does he say we are uncreated?
Give me 1 second.
We're here. It's on the screen.
Can you show me what the name of the author of that? That's what I'm trying to find out.
It's the same author you gave, or the same editor you gave.
Can you show it to me real quick?
Yes, bro. It's the same one you gave. It's going to be Nicholas Gendel, the same one you gave.
Are you on page 86, right?
Bro, yes, we showed it 6 times. Page 86. We showed it 6 times. And I highlighted what I just highlighted. And I'll highlight it again. Submit you don't have it, bro. It don't exist.
No, it does exist. Okay, here. If you let me show you my screen, I can literally show you the quote.
Bro, I'm on the citation you gave, bro.
It says those. Okay, do you obtain? Is the grace uncreated? And if you obtain it, that does not make you uncreated. Does it not deify you? That's literally the doctrine.
Deifying you doesn't make you uncreated, bro.
So why does he say that? Why does Palamas say that Maximus say those who obtain it thereby are uncreated and unoriginate?
He doesn't say that.
Well,
we just read it.
Yeah.
We just read
That's
it.
the thing you're supposed to show. You know when you say, "Oh, why is this here?" You need to show that it's here first, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, we read
Okay.
it,
Can you
bro.
give me just a second? Like, give me just a second. Like, I'm. Trying
You
to
said that you quoted. You said that it's a page. Have you read this book, The Triads? Have you read the book?
the whole entire book. No, I haven't
Yeah.
read the whole entire book. No.
Okay, so how did you come across this quote?
Yeah, he asked me if Palamas believed that the energies can make you
I know.
unoriginate.
I know.
And then
I know.
I told him that
I
it
know.
does. I told him that it does.
Yeah, but
I've read it.
But before he asked you that, you already had this quote because you already read the book, right?
Oh, I had it in my head. I didn't know the citation. I just got it. I'm just trying to find the exact citation.
You had it in your head. Well, actually, you said a page number though. So where did you get the page number from?
Yeah, I got it from a website that had the
A website. Okay. What website is this?
It's
so
called,
you didn't read it. You got it from a website. That's okay.
No. I've got the. I know what it says, but I had to get the citation. And again, that citation wasn't in my head. Nick,
So you got it from a website.
To find the citation, yeah.
Okay, so did you do a background check on the website? Or did you just search it up?
I did a background check on it.
Okay, so if we open this up, it should be there, right?
Yeah, it should be there.
Why is it not there?
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, where is he getting this?
Same here. Same.
Yeah,
here,
so
I'm
are
in the
we.
same boat with you, bro. I'm in the same. I'm trying to figure out as well. Wait, can I swear on the stream or not?
No.
I can't swear on this.
Not on TikTok. No.
This drawn crazy. This drawn crazy, bro. This is mad nog. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Guys are just
I ain't
putting
gonna
up
lie, this is-
citations. They don't exist. Salawar, bro.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. This ain't looking good, bro. This is what happens when you just like listen to folks like Liviano, bro, and use their arguments. This is bad.
Did Libiana give? Wait, can I ask you? Did Libiana give you this arg?
Okay, so hold on. No. Okay,
severely
so,
hope
so
not.
watch this. Okay, go to Gregory Palamas, the Triads, Defense of the Hesycasts. Defense of the Hesycasts.
Hesycast is crazy.
Okay, so which translation do you want to use? Do you want to use my endorsed edition, or do you want to use someone else's?
The Critical Edition by John Maindorf. Critical
Yeah,
Edition.
John Maindorf.
Yeah, that's
John
what we were just
Maindorf's
on, by the way.
edition
That's what we were just
is
on, by
one
the
they're
way.
using, yeah.
That's quite literally what
By
we were
the
just
way-
on.
Yeah. Also,
So
yeah.
let me show him real fast. That's literally what we were.
Can you go to Gendel's English translation? I would
Well,
say
That's the
this
same
is
thing.
what we were just on.
So
This
I'm
is
gonna
what we were
Okay,
just on.
okay,
You
give me one
see,
second.
you see
because
John
you don't.
Mandorf and Nicholas Gindel. That's what we were just on.
That's the problem. You don't even know how the book works. So the editor of the entire book is John Meyendorff. He edited the whole thing, put it together, cut out bits of the triads, put some things in. This is actually a shortened version of the triads. This isn't even the longest version. This is the shortened version because the triads isn't. I'm going to ask you, how long is the triads? How many books is the triads, do you think?
That's a lot. No, I don't know top of my
How many
head.
books? How many books?
I think there's like
2, 4.
I think there's like 30
Pardon?
books.
No, there's 9. So the triads are called the triads because there's 3 sets of 3. He wrote the first triad, which is 3 books, the second triad, which is another 3, and the third triad, which is another 3. It's literally 9 books. So Meyendorff, instead of just translating every single thing, it's only 159 pages. He just translated some of it. He just edited some of it and then gave it to the public. Right? So the intro and the entire edition is John Meyendorff. Nick Gendel translated it, I want to say, from French into English as well. Okay. And so that's where we are now. Okay. Now, in this book, you said that on page 86, right, it says that Palamas says that you become uncreated.
Yeah, essentially he uses the Melchizedek analogy to affirm this by saying that
That's a different argument.
He has no father and
Let's
mother
do.
length of days.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Let's do
compares that
this.
to the doctrine of theosis.
Does it say explicit? Because you're making 2 arguments. The first argument was that the text actually says that you become uncreated. The second argument is that because Palamas uses a particular analogy, you have to conclude that Eastern Orthodox people become uncreated. That's 2 different arguments. Not the same, although they're very similar. You switched to the other one though. So you did a Mott and Bailey fallacy because it sounds really, really similar to the first argument that Palamas explicitly says that we become uncreated. But it's not the same
Not only
argument.
that,
And you know
Palamas
that.
quotes
Okay.
from Maximus. He uses.
Does Palamas ever say we become uncreated?
Well, he quotes, so actually in triads 3.1.31, Palamas, he explicitly cites Maximus here, writing, the divine Maximus has not only taught that theosis, is hypostatic, but also that it is unoriginate, indescribable, and supertemporal. Those who attain it become thereby uncreated, unoriginate, and indescribable, although in their own nature they derive from a nothingness.
You're right. You're reading from the website. So on the same page, right? Does it ever say that?
Yeah. So it's actually
It
actually found in Saint Gregory Palamas' defense of the Hesychasts, triads.
That's the same. That's the same thing.
Yeah. So as the citation, it says triads 3:131.
So it's the third triad and the first part of the third triad.
Yeah.
Okay. So since it's in the Meyendorff book, could you tell me what page of the Meyendorff book this is?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me find the exact page.
Or could you basically just link me the website so I can just check this myself?
How can I link it to you?
Okay, just tell me the name of the website.
Yeah, the name of the website here. Give me 1 second. It's called so it's called the light sites.google.com/view/tabork-light/east-west/grace-created-or.
Hold on. So sites.google.com/what?
Yeah, sites.google.com/view/tabork
view
light.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, Tabor Light or Tabor Dash Light.
No, it's Taboric light. So TABORIC light.
Yeah.
/east-west.
East-west.
/grace-created. So just one dash. Created. -or -uncreated.
And that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. The Light of Mount Tabor, some random website. on the Transfiguration. Whose website is this? Whose website is this? Oh, he has an about me. He is. Oh, this guy's name is Stephen Todd Caster, and I want to say that he made this website in 2021. I don't think he has any blessing formally. Just has some academic credentials. Anyways,
Do you see the quote that I'm talking about?
so it doesn't say that he's uncreated, man.
Do you see? Can you go to? You see citation like number 5? Can you go to like this is like there's 4. You see there's dash like there's like a it's like in a box like 4. Then there's 5. Go to 5.
Maybe I'm okay. So I'm on your website. I'm on your website. Citation 5. Gregory Palamas. Yeah, this is the same thing. It says page 86.
Yeah. So if you look,
By the way, I can show you. By the way, Nick, just put me big screen real quick. And if you can't, it's fine. I'm gonna show you guys what he told us, right? I'm gonna show you guys what he told us. He said that. So this is the website, guys. I got the website up. Okay.
Yeah. Do you see that right there?
Pretty says. So this is the citation.
Yeah.
This is the citation. Those who attain it become thereby uncreated, unoriginal, and indescribable, although in their own nature they derive from nothingness. So it's this citation right here. And number 5 is this. And it explicitly says page 86. St. Gregory Palamas, the Triads, translated by Nick Gendel, Paulist Press, which, by the way, guys, is this website, page 86. So it's this page. It's this page. Where on this page does it say uncreated?
Would you say that unoriginate means to be uncreated?
I'm asking you, where does this even say that?
Yes, it literally.
Where does it even say the quote? On this page. Because this is the page that your website cites. What number is that?
Yeah, it's page 86, but he's probably paraphrasing this.
86.
He's paraphrasing.
No, he's not. He's not paraphrasing.
Okay,
he's citing it.
In Eastern theology, is there created grace?
Is grace created? The divine energy of grace is not created. But just because you participate in something uncreated, it doesn't make you uncreated. You're getting away from the argument.
Why does he call milk?
You need to show.
Why does he call milk?
You need to show.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So
you need to show that this site. You need to show that it was cited.
I don't need. That's a verbatim.
You can go back to small screen.
Verbatim word fallacy.
It's not a verbatim word. It's not a verbatim
why
word
is he
fallacy.
saying? Why is he saying that?
Because you said that Palamas verbatim said it. You said that he quoted this.
Yeah.
You
So
said that he said these words. If he didn't say these words, then you were wrong there.
So why does he call?
I will answer your question. I'm gonna answer your question. I'm gonna answer your question. It's contingent on whether you say Palamas didn't say those words. If you say that, then I'll answer your Melchizedek question.
Yeah. So fine. Okay, that's fine. I'll concede to that point.
Say it.
But he does call. My point still stands though in the sense because he still does call Melchizedek unoriginate. So and he's saying that the grace is.
Well, we can look at the page where he talks about Melchizedek. We can talk about where Melchizedek is. It says,
yeah. So
if grace is unoriginate, how?
Sorry, no.
What? Okay, so what are you asking me?
No, I'm saying that is it n hypostatic? The gift of deification.
N hypostatic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so is deification
because it affects the hypostasis, it affects the person that participates. Yeah, it affects the person that participates.
The energies are uncreated. Do we participate in theosis through the energies?
Yeah. Pardon? The energies?
Yeah, you guys participate in theosis through the energies, right?
You participate in deification through the energies, but it doesn't mean that you become uncreated. Palamas actually says you remain created. And in fact, even in your website, your website actually quotes that. It explicitly says in your website, those who attain it become thereby uncreated, unoriginate, although in their own nature, they derive from nothingness. So they're still created.
Wait. So in their own nature, they derive. Wait, say that one more time in the beginning part.
Yeah, your nature doesn't become uncreated, mate. You simply raise yourself up to God's uncreated standard. That doesn't mean you become uncreated. It means that you participate in the uncreated love of God.
So the nature.
That's all it means.
So the nature doesn't. So the nature doesn't change, right?
The nature doesn't become uncreated, no, because it's still derived from nothing. Still
Okay,
created.
so why
out of
does
nothing.
Peter say that you participate in the divine nature?
Yeah,
What's the
participating in the
exegesis?
divine nature is the person.
What's
Yeah, the exegesis is that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it says the exegesis is that the person participates in the divine nature, not the nature. The person participates in the divine nature, and that will affect your nature, but it doesn't
Does that
make your
make
nature
is
magically
the divine,
uncreated.
the divine nature unoriginate?
The divine nature is unoriginate, yeah.
Participate. So we accept the corruption in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, by his
Meaning it
divine
says,
nature, right?
who escapes the corruption of the world? Does it say the human nature or you in the verse? It says
Yeah,
you, right?
Yeah, but and he says that
So
we
a
accept the
person.
divine nature.
So a person, not a human nature.
So you translate nature as essence, correct? It's synonymous, nature and essence.
No, not all the time, no. Palamas explicitly says in the letter to
Okay,
John
where's the
Gabras, which
distinction?
you haven't read.
Where's the distinction?
Yeah, there are times where nature just means the set of divine properties.
Where does Peter make this
Like
distinction?
physis, for example. What?
Where does Peter make this distinction?
Are we asking about Peter or Palamas?
Yeah, I mean the theology is linked because you believe that the second Peter.
Okay, but who are you asking from? Are you asking from Peter or Palamas?
I'm talking about how is it what's your exegesis with Palamas's view?
Yeah, Second Peter literally says that you participate in the divine physis, not the divine ousia.
The nature
Now,
and
physis
ousia,
can
they're
translate to
synonymous.
later. No, physis and ousia are not synonymous. It's like a Venn diagram. Sometimes they overlap, but they're not coextensive.
Okay, how do you know that this is for sure what you mean to say with your qualification?
No, this is context dependent. Like the two Greek words are not even the same. Like ousia and physis don't mean the same thing.
But they're
That's
used
true.
interchangeably. Like they're used in a way that's synonymous. So how do you distinguish?
They can be used interchangeably, the same way that Adam can mean the person and Adam can mean the nature. You know, like a human being and just a guy called Adam. It depends on the context.
Would you say that there would be a distinction? So you're saying that there's a distinction between essence and nature. So can you also say that there is a distinction between essence and nature when you talk about God?
There's a linguistic distinction, yeah, like a way of speaking, but
non-reality.
When you talk about physis, sometimes we can just talk about when we talk about physis, sometimes physis just means all of the divine energies of God combined, and we can just talk about this one group. And sometimes physis just means the divine essence, right? It just depends on the context. Like here, it literally says that we are, kononoi, right? Kononoi physeos, partakers of the nature, of the physis. And he actually explains the things that we participate in. It says supplement faith, which is an energy of God, with virtue, with knowledge. All of these are energies, by the way. Knowledge with self-control with endurance, and endurance with godliness. And then brotherly affection, Philadelphos. And philanthropos comes from, Philadelphos, right? Philadelphos comes from philanthropos, which means to love mankind. And so we love mankind by loving our brothers. So look, man, number one, it doesn't say that you become uncreated. What it actually says
Why did he come up
in
with
the text is he's quoting Maximus, who says that. He's not quoting himself. If you actually go down in the Kendall book, but he actually interprets Maximus in his letter to John Gabras in 1343, because this exact objection was given. Oh, you believe you become uncreated then? Palamas is like, no, all I was saying was that you participate in uncreated things. You don't become uncreated. Because Melchizedek, even in the passage, isn't uncreated. He's still a created human being.
Why does he call him
He just doesn't
unoriginate?
have a genealogy name.
So why does he call him unoriginate?
Unoriginate.
Yeah.
Because the Bible says that Melchizedek didn't have a genealogy recorded.
Yeah.
The idea of unoriginateness for Maximus just means that there was no beginning to Melchizedek's birth written in the text.
Yeah,
but we assume that he was a
understand-
created person.
I understand that's the interpretation of the text, but why does he say it? It goes like, can you pull up the quote? And he literally says that he's unoriginate in the yeah.
No, it says unoriginate like Melchizedek.
Yeah. So why is he
So that means the way that Melchizedek was unoriginate.
Which doesn't mean
Melchizedek's
uncreated.
unoriginateness is
Yeah.
not the same. Yeah. Melchizedek's unoriginateness is not the same as God's unoriginateness. Clearly.
So wait,
because
wait. So how
yeah.
can you how does being unoriginate?
Because it says the text explains it. It says this Melchizedek, of whom it is said that his days had no beginning and his life no end. It literally explains what unoriginate like Melchizedek means in the very next clause. So it clearly is meaning that this is just referring to the fact that there was no genealogy recorded. Because in heaven, you're not going to be born in heaven. You don't have a genealogy recorded in heaven. So in this sense, you're unoriginate. You don't originate from anywhere. You just participate in God. Right? You don't get born in heaven. Do you think you can have kids in heaven?
No, not kids.
Okay, so then you're unoriginate, right?
So what does unoriginate mean to be eternal?
Unoriginate doesn't mean eternal. Unoriginate can mean many things. Unoriginate really
Would you say that only
definitionally
God
means
is only God is unoriginate?
that you no. Unoriginate means that you don't come from something else. Now, some people can be naturally unoriginate or personally unoriginate. But even on that level, there are two different understandings. When you are resurrected, right? Because you're going to die and you get resurrected. Did you originate from any parent? Did you originate from any person?
Actually, I got the quote.
God didn't give birth to you. God didn't give birth to you.
I got the quote actually in Maximus.
I want you to answer my question because we're not talking about Maximus.
Yeah,
We're talking about Palamas.
I found the quote, but whenever you're ready, I actually have like the.
Okay, so could you answer my question? When you are resurrected, right? When you're resurrected, did anyone give birth to you?
When I'm well, if I lived a life, human life, I have a mother who gave birth to me. But if I'm resurrected, God is the one who brought me from death to life. Right?
Did God give birth to you?
No, God didn't give birth. My mother did.
Okay, so when you're resurrected, was anyone recording your genealogy? Did anybody record the beginning of your days when you became resurrected?
Is this a hypothetical world?
No, this is the real world where you're going to really be resurrected, mate.
Okay. Well, sure. Okay.
In the real, no one records a genealogy. No one records it. No one.
We're talking about that's but the thing is that's the afterlife. I'm talking about living on.
Yeah,
Earth.
in the Akhirah, because it literally says it. In the Akhirah, you will not have this. This is true.
Okay, so what he says. Okay, I actually have the quote here. I'm gonna read it out and I'll give you the citation.
From Palamas on page 86, or you just now you're going to
because he's quoting from.
So
Maximus.
this is but the problem is this is a Mott and Bailey fallacy. You are saying Palamas said we become uncreated.
Well, Palamas is
but
talking.
We debunked the
went to the
website.
source because
Now you're saying Maximus says it. That's a Mott and Bailey because in order to defend the Palamas claim, you're trying to defend the Maximus claim. That's a Mott and Bailey.
So again, the quote was talking about Maximus saying that, and Palamas is agreeing with him. So I'm just going to go to the source. So Maximus says the soul.
Okay, so do you at least agree? Let's agree for now. Do you agree that Palamas does not believe that you become uncreated?
Do you think that Palamas believes Maximus?
Do you believe that Palamas
I want to clarify
believes? Okay, so do you believe that Palamas in this text? I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, I believe that Palamas believes Maximus, and Maximus believes that. Now that I've pre-moved your argument, get back to my question. In this question, I've asked you this text. In this text, does Palamas believe that we become uncreated? Yes or no?
He believes that you can be unoriginate. Uncreated is unclear. I'll give you that. Fine.
It doesn't say uncreated.
I said unoriginate. I said uncreated is unclear. I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
can we
it
move on to
says
Maximus now?
okay, so you're gonna concede Palamas because remember you came up in here. You said Palamas believes that. Right?
Yeah, but okay, Palamas believes Maximus, and Maximus believes Palamas. So
That's a different argument now. It's Mott and Bailey. So rather than explicitly Palamas saying it, you've gotten away from it now.
Does Palamas believe Maximus in his interpretation?
I'm going to entertain your argument, but I hope everyone's aware that you've gotten away from it. And now Nick's dropping viewers because you're still entertaining this.
Hella dropping. Yeah, I'm only gonna be on for like 5 more
Hella
minutes, guys.
dropping
So y'all just finish up. And then...
All right, so let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up, okay? Maximus and Ambiguum 10.44.
Have you read the Ambigua?
I have the quote here. I didn't read all of it. I'll be honest. I didn't read all of it.
You haven't read it at all.
I've read a little bit of it.
Yeah, I haven't read it.
Okay, so Maximus, Ambiguum.
What's the Ambigua? What's the Ambigua about?
You said what?
What is the Ambigua about? What are the Ambigua about?
Well, Maximus talks about various things in there.
Okay, what is it about? Like the Quran talks about various things too, mate. Doesn't mean I've read it.
I mean, which section, dude?
No, what are the Ambigua aren't a section, bro. It's not one book.
I know that.
Okay, so what's it about?
Why is this relevant to my argument?
Because I want to know whether you don't even understand the context, right? That's what I want to know. It's relevant to the argument because you're citing something that you don't know. And that's going to poorly affect whether or not you can actually engage with the data.
Well, if I'm wrong, just refute me. Simple.
Yeah, but I can't refute you unless I know how much you know. Because if I don't know how much you know, I might explain things that you already know. And I don't want to treat like a
I'll be honest. I only glanced over it a few. I didn't read all of it. Okay.
You haven't read it.
I've read some quotations from there.
Okay. What is it about then?
Yeah, he basically says that Melchizedek is said to be without father and mother.
That's not what I'm asking you. You're trying to get your quote off. I applaud you, but I want you to tell me what the Ambigua are about. What is it about?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what everything's about.
You don't even need to know what everything about. What's the basic point? What's the basic point of the Ambigua?
Yeah, he's just talking about theology.
Yeah, so is like the Bible. Doesn't tell me anything.
Can we just get to the quote, bro?
I think Formula One tells me about cars or something. I don't know, man.
Can we get to the quote?
I want you to be honest. Just say it. That's fine.
That's fine. I don't know the whole Ambiguum. No problem.
I want you to say it with your mouth that you haven't read it.
I've read it.
Okay, what is it about?
Yeah, I can give you the quotation of what I've read.
I don't need the citation because I don't know what the citation is about in the book. What's the book about?
I don't know what the whole book is about. I just know some. I just have quotes.
Good,
to support my
because you
argument.
haven't read it.
Fine.
You haven't read it.
Okay, fine. Okay.
There you go. Okay. Now, just say you haven't read it, and then we'll get to the quote. I have the quotation here.
All right. So you know what it says, right?
Yeah, I know. Tell me you haven't read it, and then we'll get to it.
I read some quotes from it. That's fine.
No, don't lie.
Yo, can we actually read it?
We can if you are honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, so
I haven't read it. Okay. Yeah, say you haven't read it. Okay, say the words. Say I haven't read it.
Bro, is this ego or like, bro, come on, man. Can we just read it?
Yes, absolutely. Guess what? Yes, absolutely 110%. Now say it.
Can we just read a quote, bro? It's getting tiring, bro.
I said it's ego. I know it's getting tiring. I have the citation here. Say you haven't read it.
The citation I've read, the whole book, no, I haven't read. Can we get to it?
You haven't read the Ambigua. You've only read this quote mine because you just found a quote mine. You haven't read the Ambigua.
I read the context. Now, can we just read? You
haven't read the context. You don't even know what it's about. Don't lie. All right. So in the 10th Ambigua, read the quotation out loud. What does it say?
It says, "Therefore, the great Melchizedek is said to be without father, mother, or genealogy, having neither beginning or days or no end of life, just as our God-bearing fathers truly said." This is not on account of his human nature, which was created out of nothing, and by virtue of which he had both a beginning and an end, but on account of divine and uncreated grace. Which
Okay,
exists
so
eternally
where
in the
is
world.
this in the 10th ambiguum?
Yeah, that's literally what it says. 10.44.
10.44?
Yeah, that's on range. This is Maximus, the Confessor, Ambiguum 10.44.
Okay, so I have the ambiguum up here. Okay, the 10th ambiguum only has 8 parts.
You said what?
It only has 8 parts. I mean, you should know that because it's your citation. So
Yeah, so 10.
Where did you get 44 from?
It's 10.44.
I know. I'm on 10.8. It only goes up to 8.
Where are you reading it from?
Fathers of the Church series 136. It has the 10th ambiguum in it. It only has 8 points.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me pull up.
I thought you pulled up the ambiguum. What were you
Yeah,
reading?
I have a quotation from my notes, but I'll go to the exact
Quote your notes, really?
Yeah.
In your notes, do you remember the edition that you read?
I'm about to get to you there right now. I have it in my search history.
But you just told me that you haven't even read the entire book, so how would you know the edition?
Give me 1
Nick,
second.
these are the kinds of guys you get in your streams. This is crazy.
Yes.
This is stuff is crazy.
Don't forget, he came up using a Libyana
I feel sorry
argument.
for
That's
you.
how it started. That's how it started. He came up using a Libyana argument. That's how it started.
That's disgusting.
By the
That
way,
is
while he
disgusting.
finds this, guys, if you guys are on YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe to the Patreon. Turn on notifications. I'll be live again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure y'all come back tomorrow. And I got a new camera, so I'll be setting that up tonight, and then it'll be here tomorrow. So hopefully the quality a little better. And make sure y'all go subscribe to Six channel too, man.
Thank you.
on YouTube.
Yeah, have the Patreon as well.
Could you at least concede that Maximus or Palmas at least calls Melchizedek uncreated?
No, show me the citation.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Why would I
unoriginal.
concede something you can't prove. You
Unoriginal.
have to show me that. Show
Yeah,
me it.
the previous citation says it.
All right. Well,
so not Maximus. So
yeah,
Maximus doesn't
yeah.
say. There you go, man.
All right. Well, that's gonna conclude it.
I'll come back. I'll get the quote.
All
Next
right.
time
Sounds
you're
good.
live,
Sounds good.
I'll get everything.
Sounds good. All right. Thank you
I'll
guys.
go
for
live
coming
right
up.
now.
All
I'll
right,
go
here
live
li-
right now.
Everyone, you guys go to Six live. All right. All right, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. All right, guys. That's going to be it for tonight. Make sure you guys come back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. I will be live again. Yeah, turn on post notifications. If you guys want to subscribe to the Patreon, get access to the Discord, click the link in the pinned chat on YouTube. And yeah, man, I will see you guys next time. God bless everyone. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit.